had been breaking into our apartment while we were gone together in the same vehicle. And so, like, I'm in the apartment, I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, why don't you take out the trash and scope out the parking lot and make sure it's okay before I go to work? So he goes out there and he's like, there's this weird fucking Lexus. It's like a silver Lexus. This is a shitty apartment. Like, why is there really nice Lexus in the parking lot? And it has tinted windows that are not street legal, like just totally dark, totally black tinted windows that are not possibly street legal. And so he comes back in and we're standing in our bedroom window looking at the Lexus and talking about it. And I say out loud, maybe we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, because the Lexus is across the parking lot from us, but it's backed in, so you can't see the license plate. Within 2 minutes of me saying, hey, we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate, we were still standing there at the window looking at it, talking about it. And an Eastern European looking motherfucker with a black beanie, dressed all in black, in his 50s or 60s, walked out of the apartment directly across from ours holding a license plate. And he opened the trunk of the Lexus and he took out some tools and he changed the license plate right in front of our fucking faces. And then he walked back to his apartment and he put the old license plate on the front patio and went inside, left it outside. And it was literally like, come get the license plate. I have more where this came from. Come get the license plate. And then after that, the Lexus started tailing me. And every time I saw the Lexus, it had a different license plate. It would be like Alabama plates, a different state plate. It would be random dealer plates, none of which were local, just like cardboard temporary dealer plates, none of which were any local dealers. Every time I saw it, it was different plates. It would follow me to the gas station to go get beer. I would go get beer at the gas station and that Lexus follows me. And even my ex called an Uber once. He called an Uber. The Lexus pulled out from the spot across the parking lot from our apartment, drove over to our apartment and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up. The license matched in the Uber app, but they didn't have an Uber sticker or a Lyft sticker. You can't drive Uber if you don't have an Uber sticker. He pulled out of his spot. He pulled out of his spot across from our apartment where he lived and drove over there to pick him up and said, hey, I'm your Uber here to pick you up. They changed the license plate right in front of our face. Like 60 seconds after I said, hey, we should go take a picture of that license plate. And they leave it on the patio, like, take it. We have more. Just take it. Like, I'm scared. I'm tired. I'm real tired. I need to disclose soon, man. I need to publish soon because it's like escalating. It's getting more and more aggressive. Like over the past, this has been going on for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And over the past 12 months, it's been like escalating, like more aggressive, more invasive, digging through my pantage, like digging through my underwear drawer and sexual threats over the past like 3 to 6 months. And now I'm like, fuck, I have to publish. Fuck, I have to publish because like it's only going to get worse until I publish. There's no way out of this. There's no way out of this fucked up situation until I publish.
Well, that woman sounds crazy, doesn't she? Doesn't she sound like an absolute loony? Well, that woman is now dead. Scientist Amy Catherine Eskridge was found dead at 34 years old. She had publicly warned her life was in danger over groundbreaking work tied to UAP technology. These missing scientists, man, it's weird. It's just getting weird. They just get, so many of them just keep turning up dead. And it is getting very bizarre. The thing she said about the Uber, the license plate matched. Well, Uber's always been tied to Central. All those big tech companies, they're all tied to Central Intelligence and whatever intelligence agency needs the info. That's how they get to where they get. You don't get, like, Uber was always about tracking people. That's how you get ahead with it in tech. If you can provide, like we're always told, if you can provide, you know, a service to people, if you can do something that makes people's lives better. But no, it's if you can provide a service to the intelligence agencies. Blue Bream's already here, man. It's already fucking here. Hey, remember what I said? It's funny you said earlier on Facebook about the wood paneling down the side. That was what I was going to... I put that in the original post, but it was too long. And I couldn't make it like with a red background or black background or whatever I went with. But you know, because we used to have UFOs in the 60s that looked cool with the wood paneling down the side. But this shit is getting out of hand. Like, it's just fucking... The other thing that someone said was that these are relating to... these are rocket scientists as well. And it would make sense. In a war, the enemy would be taking out... But they would be capturing them. That's what's suspicious about this. Like, this is what makes me think, if they've got this technology, and they're always talking about how they've got this technology, surely one country would just start using the technology in war. They don't want to. It's too advanced. They're not interested in having a world dominating power. They're interested in keeping us at a level where it's like, oh yeah, fucking, oh no, we're worried about nukes. Oh no, they're doing this. It's like that if you went back into the Western times and you had a machine gun, you had an Uzi, but you were like, well, I'm not gonna fucking give that to people. I'm gonna keep it, so we can keep people. I can keep selling these 6 guns. Anyway, how are yous? Good evening. It's another box of dogs.
Yeah, but I know what'll make you feel better.
Oh no, not another box of dogs!
It's another box of dogs!
Let's take a look at some of the comments here. It blows my mind that people can't see how she was suicidal. I'm guessing he was being facetious. Eskridge didn't kill herself. She planned to publish anti-gravity secrets. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's how I feel. I'm scared to death to publish, but I'm going to do it anyway. Publish what? Her texts. Let's see here. I don't know. Like, now it's making me scared to publish. You know? Now I'm scared to publish. And let me go to... Yo! Ron! How are you, buddy? We got to start planning that trip, man. I've been horny my whole life. You know? I was born horny. I'll die horny. It's just how I am. I was born this way. I can't help it. BlackRock had the Aladdin algorithms back in the 50s. What have they got now? Well, that's what I always wonder, you know, like, hang on. Holy shit. Let's gotta respond to this message. Yeah. This is what I was saying the other day. I'd love to go back through various events, go back through news footage and stuff, and look for AI in the news footage. Because how long have they had this? It is my time. It's your time too, bro. It is happening now. If not now, when? It's happening now, and it will never happen again. Anyway, we got to make that trip happen, man. I don't know. I'm having all sorts of doubts. Can I make it happen? Can I afford this shit? Can I do it on a budget? But we got to make it happen. We have to make it happen, God damn it! For the kids, you know? If we don't do it for the kids... Anyway, let's get back to these dead scientists real quick. FYI, I've been getting death threats every day repeatedly for the past week or so for my most recent work. It's crazy to me that, like, people will be like, this bitch is crazy. Like, she'll put shit out like that. Because people put crazy shit out all the time. And it's like, you know, you just go, this is just a crazy person. And then they turn up dead. The amount of scientists that have turned up dead, it's nuts. I've got so much shit to go through. I haven't even brought out the fucking iPad to read from the thing. Because I've got, like, hours of shit to go through here. And I've barely even got it sorted into any kind of coherent thread. So this is going to be all over the place. As always. You know what I mean? When has my shit ever been fucking... Cesar, bro. Hey, mate. Nice to see you. Hey, bro. How are you? It's still a little hard to read because I've got my OBS on the small monitor. And I forgot to bring up hang on, let me just real quick bring up a friggin' restream here so I can really read the comments a bit easier. I'll see if I can anyway, because last time it didn't work. Restream fucked up on me. The chat is waiting for new messages. Yeah, how are you, bro? It's good to see you again, mate. Okay, I'm sort of getting messages. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're all good. We're all good. Unless you're a scientist. I gotta say, man, I'm getting, you know, because I've been researching anti-gravity for ages, you know, and my discoveries, man, they'd revolutionize everything. Hang on. Don't be sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe now I won't publish. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to publish. I'm going to drop some mad anti-gravity, huge tech stuff. It's basically you just need some eggs and cake mix. And a lot of drugs. A lot of LSD. A lot of LSD, you can achieve anti-gravity greatness. Anyway. Like, I finally crossed some line with my own independently developed theory. And it got surveilled. I think these people are finding out... I think they're hitting on, like, free energy shit, more likely. You know what I mean? Or they're just like, you know, rockets. It was just everything that Bob Lazar said in a technical sense in the Corbell documentary was exactly 100% backwards. Some interesting stuff has come out about Lazar. He's a bit of a scumbag, apparently, and has connections to some very scumbaggy people, has done some very scumbaggy things. People are dropping the fucking receipts on that fucker regularly now. It's kind of hilarious. Like, the guy has been kind of a scammer the whole time, but it got the conversation going, you know? So, like, but apparently he ran like a brothel in the desert. He murdered his wife, allegedly. I've got to start using that word more, allegedly. He's just a bit of a scumbag. And, member of the tribe. You know, that tribe that are known for, you know... I'd really like to get through one fucking podcast without bringing them up. Is it possible ever to do a single fucking podcast without bringing them up? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's even possible. But we'll try. Let's try. Man, I've been like, the last few days, I've been like, oh, I'm going to stream today, and I just never get to it because I've been feeling like crap. Today's the first day I've actually come good. So this is going to be all over the place. As always, why should I change styles now? Should I get coherent all of a sudden? Let's not do anything rash, shall we? Yeah. Tribe haunting for life. Man, this fucking whole UFO shit, it's just nuts. Like, well, you see how the MSM are fucking... Okay, so let's check out what the Rogan says.
Have you been paying attention to this news about these UFO researchers and scientists that have gone missing? Yeah. What do you think of that?
Don't top doctors go missing. Don't top physicists go missing. Don't fucking astronauts. All these fucking people who are in
facts.
You know, power positions. Not even just.
Aliens were promised 2000. That's right. That's right. We were promised aliens. Man, I'm waiting for the probes. I want to get probed.
Position of high intelligence, knowledge.
Yeah.
They go bye-bye. The best heart surgeons on Earth, 7 of them were on the same fucking plane that went down. What do you know?
Wouldn't it be disappointing to get picked up by aliens and they didn't give you the anal probe? That would suck. You'd be like, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
The best, whatever. They just found the cure for cancer. These 10 doctors, they're on a PJ to fucking who the hell knows where, and they go down.
Jesse wrote a good write-up about them all that I think explains the angle we would prefer to hear about, you know, like conspiracies and UFOs and stuff.
So he thinks it's a conspiracy?
I have no idea who it is.
The possibility of it being a conspiracy.
Correct, and at least
this might be the guy, actually, wait till he comes on. This might be the guy that they're bringing on to replace Alex Jones. Because I heard Alex Jones talking about it the other day. He was like, they've brought on some guy who looks like me, talks like me. And he's like, yeah, so this might be someone that works for The Onion, and they've got him on Joe to promote him.
from that angle.
It's just crazy that all these top doctors and top things and physicists and just like these people.
He looks like Rogan. No, fucking not Rogan. Jones. He looks like Alex Jones.
Just disappear.
One of them was a general who's also like...
He's the
Generals know shit.
He's the key.
Well,
he was in charge of, I think, the UFO program.
Right.
If there is one.
If there is one. But if you didn't he just leave the house with just a gun?
I don't. Yeah, it's on the screen what he left with.
He took a red backpack, his wallet, and a .38 caliber revolver.
He left behind his phone.
He left behind his phone.
And
his wife reported him missing within 3 hours. Despite FBI involvement, Air Force Office of Special Investigations, search dogs, drones, helicopters, horseback teams, FLIR sweeps, and 700 canvas households.
That sounds like a man that was going out to meet his fate. You know what I mean? Like, he was going out. He's a rapper. Really? Action Bronson's a rapper. I have no idea, man. No, that sounds like a man that was going, like, he couldn't take it anymore. He took his gun and he was like, right, let's have this out. But these people, when you're taking them on, man, they've come after me before. I took them all out because I'm me. But your average scientist isn't going to be able to take out these elite killers. Not like I can.
No confirmed sightings of McCaslin has ever surfaced. Surveillance cameras covered both ends of his street. None captured his direction of travel. After weeks of searching, the only item recovered was a gray Air Force sweatshirt a mile east of his house. Testing could not confirm it was his.
If they come after you, if ever these black ops fuckers come after you, the best thing, give them AIDS.
So he was the first one to disappear, and then
He has no DNA?
Sort of.
No hair came off?
he was the first one to disappear, and then another one disappeared, and they're like, well, they actually might have worked together, and then like every other day, it's like now another one and another one and another one.
Also, if you knew something that the whole world didn't know, like if you knew the human race was just a bunch of soul containers for some super advanced alien race that just uses us as a farm,
Yeah, here's
and you're
why
like, what's the purpose?
his name pops up is because his name was in the.
Joe, come on, man. So is Joe now saying that he unalived himself? I'd say that is what they did. They probably made it look like he unalived himself. I mean, that's the way that's their modus operandi. Like, it's like that guy that was linked to the Clintons. He tied himself to a tree with an electrical cord, shot himself twice with a shotgun, and got rid of the shotgun. Absolutely a suicide. Gary Webb shot himself twice in the head. 100% a suicide. I mean, they just make it look like, you know. There was that guy who chopped off his own head. Obviously a suicide.
We're all just an empty body with fucking aliens hosting us.
That's what's fucking so amazing about all this shit. They don't even, like, they've made their job so easy for them. They used to actually have to make it look. Clone Rogan. That's very good. They used to have to make it look like a suicide. You know, they used to have to, like, put them in the harness and put the thing and make them shoot themselves in the head. Now they just, like, run over them with a truck and then they go, yeah, the people's suicide. The guy that did the autopsy on Epstein was dead a week later. Like, they just... I mean, it is the easiest way. Like, I've been saying for quite some time now. Like, if you've got problems, grape and murder. There's your solutions. There's the easiest solutions. David Wilcock got suicided like yesterday. Yeah, that's the other guy I was trying to think of. Used to be on Ancient Aliens. Yeah, right. Yeah, kudos to the guy chopping it. That guy was committed, you know? He really wanted it. He was like, I'm doing this, and I'm going to fucking... This is what pisses me off, I got to say. You know, because everyone that gets involved in this shit, they're always like, I would never dill myself. If I say that, no one would fucking believe me anyway. They'd be like, nah, we know you. We know what you're like. You fucking freak. So, anyway. So, I'm not even going to say it. And I would never kill myself. I'll say it like fucking...
Hacked emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta revealed correspondence from Tom DeLonge naming McCaslin directly. DeLonge? I'm saying it wrong,
No,
right?
Tom DeLonge.
DeLonge wrote that McCaslin helped assemble his advisory team, was deeply aware of what DeLonge was trying to achieve, had received a 4-hour briefing on the project. DeLonge added that McCaslin ran the laboratory at Wright-Patterson, where the Roswell material was shipped. But that's all speculation.
Turns out all the small things were tiny aliens. They're only 3 feet tall, apparently. So you can kick them in the face really easily.
What's part?
The Roswell material.
They keep talking
Well,
about
but
Roswell and this
he
and that.
did
There's
run
so
the,
much. Why
Air
are they?
Force
Why?
lab.
Why is it always
Right,
like
right.
Hold on, you can't
focused
talk
on
at the
that
same
shit?
time. We don't have
Sorry,
headphones
bro.
on. Say it again.
He did run. It was in charge of the Air Force lab at Wright Pat. That's why it's linked to the Roswell material. That could be the
Right.
Roswell material could be the part you put in parentheses, but he did run that lab.
It's
Which
all very
would be-
interesting because that is the lore was that that's where the wreckage was shipped. But
And then that the one we were talking about yesterday, Monica Reza, I looked her up. She is known for being on a patent of some super metal alloy. I was looking that up yesterday. That doesn't mean anything specifically, but
this is the lady that vanished.
right.
She was the lady that was hiking. Her friend turned around, saw her, kept hiking, said something to her, kept hiking, turned around a little while later, and she was gone.
Yeah,
No one ever found her.
co-invented an alloy called Mondaloy, which is used in rocket engines currently.
Dun, dun, dun.
Come on.
Here's a couple of things about this. Like, all of these scientists, why would you kill them? Why wouldn't you just kidnap them and get them to work for you? So there's something a little more nefarious going on here. Like, I've always thought there's a fucking cabal running things, and they just keep everyone at a certain level, and they're like, nah, you're finding out too much. And they all work together. But also, these people, they don't give a fuck anymore. They don't, like, they're not even trying. They'll just shoot you in the street and say, yeah, suicide. He jumped in front of a bullet.
And maybe working on some new shit. Huh? Maybe.
I mean, those people who got those patents to all those metal, like the fucking guy who got the patent to the clip that turns the gun into an automatic, or the that's that shit.
Right.
Those little components turn bigger things into like super situations.
Well, this is like a crazy alloy for spaceships.
yeah,
Like,
but
it's
just
kinda
you
weird
need that.
Of course. But it's kind of weird that that lady is a lady that goes missing. So if you were a competitor country, I could see why you'd want to take out one of those scientists.
Yeah, so how much do you reckon this is to do? Because all this stuff is popping off with this war, which I think this war is entirely fake at this point anyway. I mean, maybe not entirely fake, but it's all, you know, there's too much going on with this. Like, America attacks Iran, so Iran starts taking out America's out, like, in 10 different refineries around the world getting taken out. They're just always attacking the refineries. And cui bono? Who benefits? I don't know, man. It's just blowing my mind. But this is how the NSN. What happened to Joshua LeBlanc? NASA nuclear engineers, Alabama. This is my favorite one. The Atlantic says the missing scientist story is unbelievably dumb. The mystery of the missing scientist began with Silver Alert. In late February, a retired Air Force Major General named Neil McCasland left his house in New Mexico for a walk and never returned. Rumors spread on social media that the elderly former astronautical engineer had been abducted or killed. Forget Nancy Guthrie, they said. He was a guy who used to run UFO-linked lab. He was a guy with knowledge of America's deepest, darkest secrets. So where's the guy? I mean, could this all be just... Yeah, I'm not starting my free trial. Fuck off, Atlantic. Let's see what
Thanks for
this
staying
is.
with us here at Live Now from Fox. Turning our attention now to a story that we are following closely, and it's making national headlines right now. The Trump administration has directed federal agencies to investigate whether a series of deaths and disappearances among scientists with high-level security clearances are linked. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed the probe following reports that 11 individuals tied to sensitive military, nuclear, and aerospace research have been affected.
This is the thing. They keep tying it to... if they want us to see it and talk about it, then it's supposed to. But this is why they keep tying it to UFOs. Because they want it to sound insane. They want everyone talking about this to sound nuts. But if you were in a war with someone, you would take out any scientists that are linked to, rocketry or nuclear or weaponry in any way. You just start taking them out because there's an angle that you can attack. And the news is just constantly going to report it as UFO deaths. It serves two purposes. It makes anyone talking about it sound crazy, and it adds to the whole Project Bluebeam thing. Oh, fucking aliens are coming. Where are they? Where the fuck are they? That's what I want to know. Fucking circling around, fucking flying, doing fucking bullshit, never landing. You see all the fucking things they knocked out of the sky a little while ago? There was all these things coming over America. Just shit kept coming down. They were going, oh, they're asteroids, they're comets or whatever. No, they weren't. They were fucking satellites. Trump set up Space Force back in 2016. They even made a Netflix series about it. That's how they do it. They have to tell us what they're doing. Why would you set up an agency and never use it? So someone was taking out satellites. And why wouldn't you? If there's a war going on, you're going to fucking attack anything you can. I don't know, man. Donald Trump, greatest president ever. Let's just go through this. I just did a search. Missing scientists. We'll get off this in a second because it's kind of, I don't know. There's not much news here that, they'll kill some more probably. Top US scientists keep vanishing or dying in bizarre circumstances. This is what I don't get. If they were taking them out, if these were linked in some way, you would kidnap them and you would take them back and you would have them work for you. Just like we did with the Germans. Werner von Braun. Fucking failed rocket scientist. But, if you can launder $300 million an hour, Eskridge. Looks like red gloves. I am so pissed off. Oh my god, I should be pissed off too. Somebody should be protecting you. Burns line up perfectly with the edge of the table I was typing.
To work. So he goes out there and he's like, there's
Getting
this weird
hit
fucking
repeatedly
Lexus.
with the military grade
It's like a
sci-fi
silver
weapons
Lexus.
is
This
pretty
is a shitty
tiresome after a
apartment.
while.
Like, why is
I
there
gotta say,
35
those the weapons that they do have the voice of God, and they use them regularly. They'll always deny, but then they come out and they tell you they've got them even when they haven't used them. But those weapons that they have, the voice of God thing, where they can project it straight into your head, make you hear voices. These people, they put people on people all the time. They've got nothing better to do. A NASA nuclear scientist was found deceased in his Tesla after colliding with a guardrail, leaving his body so burned that he was completely unrecognizable, according to a new report from Texas. Oh yeah, that's what I looked up a little while ago. Fucking Operation... Fuck, what was it? It's in CIA documents. It's in the disclosure where they can take over any car now. And now every car has to be a certain level of technological advancement to get past so you can even drive the fucking thing. If you get a car now, like they have cars that will go, completely off grid. They won't get past. They won't let you drive them. They want all the cars to have little computers in them so they can do this. They've openly admitted this, and they do it all the time. They just take over your car. So this Tesla with self-driving and like all the safety gear runs into a fucking guardrail at such high speed that it explodes. I mean, come on. They're not even trying anymore.
LeBlanc grew up in New Iberia, but he was Joshua LeBlanc grew up in New Iberia, but he was working in Huntsville at NASA as an electrical engineer. His family reported him missing earlier this week.
Voice to skull, that's it.
His car was found Tuesday after.
You suspect Space Force is actually for cyberspace. Well, yeah, to some degree, I'm sure it is. But they do have an actual Space Force that is because they got so many satellites up there. They're not just going to let people throw up satellites.
Afternoon, 2 hours away from his home with no signs of him anywhere. Joshua LeBlanc was well known in New Iberia, where he graduated from Catholic High and later attended and graduated from UL Lafayette. His family tells me he last communicated with them at 4:32 a.m. Tuesday. They also told me he never showed up for a job that he loved that morning as well. What we do know about his disappearance is this. Alabama authorities did track his blue Tesla Model 3. According to the Tesla car data, it stopped for 4 hours at the Huntsville International Airport, which is about 12 minutes from his apartment. The data shows his car left the airport, traveled west on Alabama back roads before crashing in Florence, Alabama. Tuesday, 2 p.m., the car was discovered and a body inside, but the body was found burned beyond recognition, according to family members. But the case has only raised more questions. LeBlanc's phone, his personal belongings, and even his dog were all left behind in his Huntsville apartment. Family members say the detour and disappearance don't match anything Joshua had planned for that day, and now they believe he may have been abducted from his home.
These could also be people linked to the Epstein case in some way, because he was always going after scientists. Who fucking knows at this point? Like, it's just weird it's happening now, you know? It's... Anyway. But, speaking of the war in Iran, this is pretty shocking. There was a showdown in the Strait of Hormuz, and we've got some actual audio here from the two Indian ships.
Dramatic scenes in the Strait of Hormuz, ships coming under fire as they try to transit the critical waterway. This audio shared with ABC News, capturing a radio message sent by an Indian-flagged oil tanker.
You are fucking, you bloody bastard, bitch, fuck you, bloody, fucking mother, bloody, fuck, bitch, you bloody, fuck you fucking bloody bastard.
Dramatic scenes in the Strait of Hormuz, ships coming.
That war is getting out of hand. Someone's got to step in. Oh, dear. Actually, not going to play the... Oh, there's Eskridge. I was looking for that for ages. So this is interesting. This is yeah, that Artemis thing. I think I've got something on that later on in the thing. There's one where the woman forgets her lines. There's the AI thing where they're all like standing out. People are taking photos, but they're not appearing on the cameras. The whole thing was just, like I said, it's like they're not even trying anymore. Like they just... It sounded like me every day. Fuck you, bloody. Yeah, no, it just... They're just not trying. I don't know. Anyway, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, that Nixon, anytime like someone goes against the deep state, this is, I guess with JFK, they really couldn't besmirch his name too much. And anyway, they took him out in such a violent way, it really didn't matter. It seems like if they take you out in a really violent way, they'll let people think what they want. The question is, why are they making it so obvious? That I don't think, they just don't care anymore. And it's also a warning to everyone else. You know what I mean? It's like, look, you step out of line, this is what's going to happen. Like, we'll do all these things. It'll kind of be on the, like, people will be able to say, maybe it was suicide. But most people are going to look at it and go, there's no fucking way it was suicide. It keeps everyone else in line. Like, no one's going to step out of line. Like, people are going to pull their fucking heads in and just be like, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'll behave. I want to live. So, I mean, it's the same with, like, the Epstein stuff. You know, when they would make those videos of them doing the most depraved shit, it wasn't really about blackmail. It was more about having an understanding with each other, because they were doing arms deals. A lot of that shit was arms deals. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's revelation of the method, that too. That's what I think that series, Space Force, was all about. Because it was a comedy. It was like, oh, look at this ridiculous thing, Space Force. And it was a comedy, and it's like, oh, look, the Chinese are knocking out one of our satellites. We got to get back at them. And yeah, they were showing us what they're doing. And anything that you do in space is a great way to launder money. No one can go to space to check out what you're doing. So what a brilliant way to launder money. Just tell everyone, we're totally sending people into space. I think I've got a video of the Artemis being launched, and you can see the arc, like that someone shot it from an airplane, and you can see the arc of the rocket. And it's like, well, that doesn't appear to be heading into space. I don't want to believe. You have to believe. Believe. So, fuck. The pillow fighting girls make it very hard. Donor class are occultists, absolutely. They're all occultists. All of these fucking... This is what I was thinking about this. The last time I spoke to Jones, he was like, I said to him, the world is run economically. And he said, no, the world is run religiously. And that caught me off guard a bit, because I was like, you sure? Space, the final black market. Absolutely. Perfect place to wash your cash. You just steal from people and go, we're sending it into space, trust us. But Jones said it's run religiously. And the first thought is, what? Oh, you mean like Catholics and Muslims and Jews? But no, it's occultic. The first NASA dudes were occultists. They were like going out into the desert and rubbing their dicks together, because like they believed that gave them some kind of special, or he just liked rubbing his dick on another dick, which seems more likely to me. Trust me, dude, this is going to get us totally in with the gods, man. Hey, you know what Baal really likes? When someone sucks my dick. You should totally suck my dick right now, because Baal loves that. Yeah, the high altitude balloon Satellites. I don't even understand how those fucking things work. I did see when I was up in Orient many months ago, I saw a string of satellites. Like light, like a straight line of about 20 of them just flying through. I do think that they can probably get something at an altitude that, you know, but those high altitude balloons, I have no idea how this shit works. Human sacrifice, satanic ritual abuse. Well, that's how the ritual abuse is how they program people to become the occultists that will run the world, because you have to get to a point where you are, you're able to like the reason Hillary Clinton is able to get in a room and eat some kid's face. She has to be able to get to a point where she can handle all the stress hormones, and it's just like it's nothing to her. Because these people are going to be... So they start training them from when they're very young to be able to deal with that kind of... So that's what the ritual abuse is. And they abuse them when they're kids, and they become the abuse. It's this trauma cycle. It's how they program them. It's how they make sociopaths. It's how they make these fucking psychos that go out there and run the world. Because you need psychos to run the world effectively if you're going to keep this whole scam and this sham going. The human sacrifice element, that is, that's an energy thing. That's like they get energy. When they're torturing someone, they draw psychic energy. It's like, you ever met an energy vampire and they just like, they talk and talk and talk and they just won't stop and they just kind of fuck with your head constantly. That's how energy vampires work. So if you're torturing someone, you can draw the energy from that. But when it comes to human sacrifice, the other element of it is it's like chumming the waters with sharks. So you sacrifice a human, and all these entities from other places come around. It's brilliantly, it's so well laid out in Apocalypto. It's brilliantly done when you see they're chopping off the heads and they're rolling down, and you see the priest, and he's there, his eyes are rolling back in his head. He's there communing with the spirits, and that's how you get new technology. So all these fuckers in the technological field, that's why they call things like Palantir, like it's a fucking joke. Like these fucking people just come along, they go, yeah, we're going to name our company after the stones that can see everything and drive people crazy. And these are the fuckers that are saying they're on our side. It's just, you know, this is how the world is run. This is why I don't really care for the world. I don't like it. Loosh farmers, absolutely. Well, they're the archons and whatnot. But yeah, the loosh, the more you can serve the archons who are farming the loosh, so the more trauma you can create, the more benefits you get from the archons. So the more energy they feed you. It's like, you know, one for me, one for you. It's like I don't know what the percentages are, how they work, but it's like, you know, you give us a shit ton of trauma, we'll take 90% of the energy, but we're going to give you 10% of the energy, and bam, away you go. This is how this world operates. I seriously am starting to think that this world is like it's either a prison or a timeout. It's at least a cosmic timeout, because we're so far away from everything else. Like everything's like, oh, this is 1,000 light years. Like they've put us in the fucking corner here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. I mean, I'm at the point now, I just think the best thing for us to do is just fucking enjoy ourselves as much as we can. They've got their plans. The world is going to burn the way that they want to fucking, you know. The jinn are entities made of smokeless fire, electricity. Yeah, that's really fucking, that's a good observation. That's bang on, and Mel Gibson directed that film. He knows what, yeah, Mel Gibson's fucking, he's one of those, he's seen the shit, and he's just, yeah, so that's why I love that film, Apocalypto. It was such a great film anyway, but that film, that fucking scene just nailed it. But they're still doing that now. There's also, I think there are actual beings on this earth right now that require the blood. You know the Black Eye Club? We all know the Black Eye Club, right? It's said that whatever entity... I was writing a story about this a while ago, about the Black Eye Club is basically... They put this little parasite in, and the parasite digs in, and it gives them the black eye, and it burrows into their brain, and it starts feeding them information. It's talking to them, and so it knows what's going. It's like it's communicating with other of these, so they kind of have a psychic connection to these things. But if you don't feed the parasite enough trauma and enough fresh blood and enough adrenochrome or you know, adrenalized blood from a fresh victim, the thing will start to torture you, and you will be tormented by nightmares and pain. And because if you don't feed it, it'll die, and so then you're out of the club. But for the 30 days or the 90 days or however long it takes for this fucking thing to die, you will be tormented beyond fucking belief. So really the only way to get into it is to get rid of it is to be put in a coma for I don't know what the period of time is, how long it would take the fucking thing to die, but I think it would take quite a while for it to die, like longer than 30 or 90 days, because the fucking thing will feed on whatever it's got there, and it will just eat your brain away. But this is what, you know, that story is basically based on my theory of what the Black Eye Club is. And when you look around at all the people that are members of the Black Eye Club, it's kind of like, well, there's some people that I was hoping wouldn't be a part of it, but they are. They're all part of it. You know, most people, if you got a black eye, I got a black eye ages ago. I got it like 3 times in 2 months. I got my orbit shattered 3 times in 2 months. I went to the doctor. He said, if this happens, he said, you need to stop drinking, because if this happens again, you're going to be blind. But every time I would have this massive black eye, I did everything I could to cover it up. I would walk around at night wearing sunglasses. I didn't go out. But if I had to go out, I was always wearing sunglasses. Didn't take my sun, because you cover that shit up because it looks fucked up, right? Not these fuckers. They're out there doing press conferences. Yeah, I got a black eye, you know. Like we're supposed to believe, oh yeah, you went to the pub last night, is that right? Oh, you went to the pub and you got a bit of a punch up because you had a few too many. Fuck you. 2 weeks to flatten the parasites. That's all we need. 2 weeks to flatten the parasites. I think the best way to get rid of those parasites is to shoot them. So you aim right there, and you just go, hold still, and you fucking bang, and you go, well, I missed, get another one, bang, oh, I missed, bang. You just keep shooting them in the face until you hit the parasite. That's my medical opinion. Vril lizard. They're all lizards, man. If you say, oh, fuck, I posted a while ago, the fucking, let me see if I can find this. Fucking Jenna fucking Bush revealed herself. I gotta find it now. Jenna Bush. You might remember this. It's fucking great. She revealed herself. Oops. She revealed herself to be a lizard. Yes. Here we go. Check this shit out. This is daughter of George Bush.
And
watch
that's
this bitch.
kind
Watch.
of the idea that's alluded to
Watch
in some of the
fucking
Gnostic
shit.
scriptures. And then you saw that in The Matrix and even in Dark City, that movie.
This is
in that
Tracy
movie,
Twyman
they're
talking,
on a,
by
like,
the way. The
spaceship,
audio is Tracy
basically, but
Twyman.
people don't know that their world is actually a spaceship.
Look!
And someone else is manipulating
Look at this
reality
bitch!
from the outside, and they're feeding off of their emotions and things like that, putting them in different situations to create, emotional reactions, basically. And so I think that's similar what they're describing.
Look at this bitch. Hot. Yeah, I think my medical evaluation is how we proceed. Look at that. And they'll tell you that's some kind of fucking, that's just, that's just the TV messing up. There's no way, man. Look at that. That's George Bush's daughter. Some lesbian. That's what lesbians really look like when you get them home in the morning. If you ever sleep with a lesbian, be prepared, because that's what they're going to look like in the morning. In the Stargate series, the main antagonists were parasites who infected man. They were Egyptian gods. Yeah. Well, there's the whole idea that language is a virus. And I think it is, because it evolves like a virus. Like, language is this idea, and we're the only ones on the planet that have it, and look what it's done to us. I think language was a bad idea, man. Oh, wow. Russell Brand says he slept with a 16-year-old girl when he was 30 in the United Kingdom. Just own it, bro. Just fucking... Now he's running for office, which is grouse. Good on him. At least he owns being into the young stuff, He's like, yeah, I fucked the 16-year-old when I was 30. And I'll do it again when I get in office every day. But I'm a Christian now. Anyway. Now in Iraq, massive fire at Erbil oil refinery after alleged attack. 7 consecutive energy incidents in 7 days. 15th of April, Australia's Geelong refinery. Did you see the at the Geelong refinery a drone, a military drone, left Darwin, flew all the way down, circled off the coast of Geelong while it was being attacked, and then fucked off. Weird? Odd? I mean, that's such Israeli behavior, but that could be any of them. But who does it benefit? It certainly benefits America, because they keep selling their oil, which they've just gotten more fucking oil from Venezuela. So Trump's just like, it totally fucking, and it brings our fucking, it's getting rid of, like, diesel, less diesel for us, bringing us to a halt. America and Israel are the ones I see benefit most. I mean, I suppose it would benefit Iran in a tactical sense, but anyway, Pakistan blast, 8 dead. 18th of April, Russia's Tuapse refineries. India HPCL, Rajasthan. Texas oil well explosion. Romania CET vest blast. 22nd April, breaking herbal refinery. Yeah, they don't give a shit, man. They just don't care. They're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna set some shit on fire. Really, it's like... Russell was the child catcher in the opening Olympics. Yeah. Rusty Rockets. Let's have a listen to what Rusty has to say.
And
because now he's being all like, yeah, but I'm a Christian now, so you got to forgive me.
I'll tell you up front.
But he does actually. Let's give him a chance, because he does actually say some things that do make sense. Because this is what happens when you're fucking famous. And one thing he doesn't say in this, he says, well, it was the power dynamic. He never gets into like what it did for the girl's status. Because I met a chick ages ago, and she was like, she'd fucked Noel Fielding. One of the first things she said to me was, I fucked Noel Fielding. That's what a star fucker is. That's what a star fucker does.
I was angry when I saw that, because they did it in such a compelling way that, especially the stuff about the 16-year-old, that I was angry with you. I believed what they said, or at least believed that there was enough smoke, there might be fire. And
16 is the legal age in England, by the way. He didn't do anything illegal.
Said to the audience at the time, you know, the conservative movement doesn't need somebody like that. Like, we love what he's saying about COVID, but if this is a guy who's sexually assaulting women...
Big fan of the COVID stuff. Not so much fan of the kid fucking.
And taking advantage of 16-year-olds, we need to move on without him. And felt that anger for a couple of years around you, because I just thought it was so reckless and it was so wrong. And I knew that it might be false, but it seemed overwhelming, the way that they presented the evidence. And then the more I looked at it, the more I started to recognize I might not know the full story, because since then I have seen what the British government has done, what my own government has done to certain figures that it doesn't like. And I have an enormous amount of open-mindedness to, you are being railroaded and attacked by people for reasons having nothing to do with actual facts, but with your right-leaning stance on certain issues.
It is very interesting that they didn't give a fuck about him while he was on the left. When he did all these things, behaving badly like a rock star comedian, no one gave a shit about him. No one was out there going, because as long as he was pushing the whole left-wing agenda, everyone loved him, everyone looked the other way. But as soon as he started turning around and going, "Here, this COVID malarkey, I'm not so sure about this," they came after him.
Your growing prominence as a figure in a bunch of discussions that they find very threatening. And honestly, I just reevaluated the whole thing and thought, I need to be open-minded to having been wrong in my initial assessments, and I'm interested in a conversation about it all.
Thank you, Megyn Kelly, for giving me the grace to address in particular your anger, which is entirely legitimate and recognisable. And the plain fact of it is that in Europe and in the United Kingdom, where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. But when I was 30, I was a very different person. I was a lot younger, and I was an immature 30-year-old. Consensual sex, actually, with a variety of people, when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man that has the ability to attract women that I had at that time, I think involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognise that my sexual conduct in the past was selfish, and I did not apply enough consideration.
Yeah, I believe he did. He might be married to a Rothschild now. I'm not sure. But he certainly, he partied with all of those people. So, you know.
Barely any, I suppose.
He's tainted goods is what he is. Does he now? Russell's got a great big 33 tattooed on his wrist. Yeah, right. That's why tattoos are a bad fucking idea. That's why I don't really have any tattoos. I've got one shitty one that I did with a syringe and pen ink. But it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, you probably thought this was got the 33 tattooed, and he's got the picture of the egg. He should get the fucking picture of the egg tattooed on him.
Really, to how that sex was affecting other people. The only matter that I would contest, while acknowledging, firstly, your right to be angry as a woman who, given what I know about you and the industry you've worked in, I'm sure that you have personal reasons for feeling aggrieved towards powerful men, because in spite of occasionally...
I'd have more respect for him if he just came out and said, yes, I did sleep with that 16-year-old girl, but in my defense, she was a slag.
Men coming to the forefront of the culture, whether it's the most hideous gargoyle villains as rendered and portrayed, or the more sort of innocuous and party boy style exploiters of women, a category that I suppose I must fall into. It's plainly something that exists within our industry, and one might say culture at large. While I was transgressing lines of being a person...
I'm just sick of that. So Yandex is now compromised. I can't fucking take that shit. Oh, you mean a rock star did rock star shit? Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is fucked up. I got another video here. Let's see if I can find it because it ties in. Here we go. Right, so here, this is your green energy, Australia. Koalas killed while clearing for a wind turbine access road and dumped in a mass grave. Labor and Greens just destroy everything around them while claiming to be morally superior. They don't care about the environment, our ecosystem, our beautiful native animals, and they sure as hell don't care about you. They just bulldoze everything in the way of their globalist agenda. So if they injure an animal, this is what they are actually told to do. If they injure an animal, they are told to hit it over the head with a blunt object. Let's have a listen to this. This is from a documentary. Spotlight.
We're in central Queensland, about to get an aerial view of the destruction that's happening in the name of our renewable transition. With me is cartographer and environmental activist Stephen Nowakowski. He's been a greenie all his life, so you'd think he'd be a champion of renewable energy. Well, think again.
To me, this brings tears to my eyes. This is absolutely criminal behaviour. If a farmer or a primary producer did that, they'd be in jail.
Far from supporting the net zero policy being pushed by Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen, Stephen believes it's the greatest environmental catastrophe of our time.
What this country is trying to embark on is a new industrial revolution. And I see dystopia. I just see a dystopia future.
I'm so fucking sick of being right. We've all been talking about this shit for fucking years now. And now these people are finally catching up and going, oh, no, it's actually quite bad. I'm fucking sick of this shit.
Stephen has spent the last 4 years mapping the devastation our green revolution is causing.
The latest figure from Minister Bowen is that we need 10,000 kilometres of transmission lines. We need tens of thousands of wind towers. And when people start talking about a green energy superpower for this nation, that sends shivers down my spine. To achieve that, we need about 7 times the spatial footprint of the state of Tasmania.
This, to be honest, this little thing here, and I'll keep playing it in a second, but this doesn't even fucking touch the fucking surface of this issue. Like, that is what progress looks like. But they're not looking at the longer term issues of what's going to be left to clean up and how this shit lasts for 20 years and then it's done. The fields, the farms that are going to be destroyed. My father's farm is right next door to a solar farm. They wanted to build on his property and he was like, yeah, sounds good. And then it all got into this fucking legalese bullshit. When that fucking solar farm dies, it's going to kill every fucking farm around it. It's going to kill the farm that it's on. That land will never be able to be used again for farming ever. And no one will want to go onto it for anything. They're just going to walk away from destroyed fucking land. And it's going to destroy another fucking 8,000 hectares around it. It's fucking, it's these people are geniuses.
Covered in glass and steel.
And most of it is made in China. Across the entire Australian continent, Stephen tracks every road, every transmission line, wind turbine, and solar panel submitted for approval. And the damage they're causing to the land and the wildlife.
Indeed.
Yeah, so look, we've got some...
Indeed, Sandy. Anyone who believes in this they're fuckwits. Look, I'm all for finding fucking better solutions and whatnot, but this isn't it. And just because you find something, this is just a money maker. That's all this is. This is money. This is nothing to do with fucking supplying energy. This is nothing to do with green energy. This is nothing to do with the environment. This is money. That's all this is.
More birds and bats here. You can really see that they've been impacted directly beneath the blades. So this is a fresh kill, would have happened last night.
This is not for the climate. This is all about big business and money.
There you go. It was never about the fucking climate.
This wind farm, 1,100 hectares of clearing.
Well, what, just to put the wind turbines up?
Just to get the haulage road. So you can see the nature of the terrain. It's very rugged, really, really rugged topography. So a lot of land needs to be cleared to get these big components, 80-metre long blades, up into these mountains. So the roads need to be about 70 metres wide. So the tops of all these mountains are going to be dynamited out with the use of explosives.
Just destroying
And this is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yay, environment! Yay, the
Below
environment!
us, 100 wind turbines, stretching as far as the eye can see. Each one of them 200 metres high, and built by Chinese turbine giant Xinjiang Goldwind.
This is great forest. This is remnant forest full of koalas and greater gliders.
Well, what'd they do with the koalas?
Well, in the management plan, if a koala has been found that is injured from the land clearing events, they need to be hit with the blunt force instruments to the back of the head.
What? Agree, man. It makes me fucking furious too. Hear that? That's their plan. If you injure a fucking animal, just kill it.
They just euthanize the koala.
That's right. Yeah. So they euthanize the koala or any mammal for that matter.
And the collateral damage to our wildlife is set to rise.
So what we're seeing here is 100 wind towers. What I've mapped for Australia-wide is 31,000 additional wind towers yet to be built.
What?
Well, 31,000 wind towers are in the pipeline at different stages of the approval process right now.
On top of these?
On top of these.
A friend was telling me about an area that she has friends in. She was telling me about how these fucking wind turbine people are coming in and they're going, oh, look, we want to put these things in. The farms that they want to put them on, all the farmers are going, yeah, no, this is great, because they're going to get paid $1 million and be thrown money every year to lease the land. So they're going to be making huge fucking money. The rest of the townspeople, however, are saying, no, this is fucked. You're going to destroy our fucking town. You're going to fucking destroy the mountaintops to get everything up there. And isn't it interesting that they always want the high ground? They want to claim all the high ground. All these Chinese companies coming in, all wanting to claim the fucking high ground. Isn't that weird? Isn't that odd?
31,000.
31,000.
And most of them either Chinese-made or built with Chinese components. They and every other source of renewable energy, from solar farms to giant batteries, needs copper. Copper to generate it or copper to transmit it. Up to 12 times more copper than is required for the fossil fuel power grid. Which means, surprise, surprise, that China has scoured the planet for dirt-cheap copper to sell back to us. They found it in Zambia. And once again, China has thrown away the rulebook.
The greater good. Yep, for the greater good. 5 fucking nuclear facilities would take care of all of our fucking energy needs. Done. It's a fucking scam. I want to get in on this scam. I want to go to the fucking Australian government and say, I've got a way. We're going to harness people's farts. We're going to harness liberal farts. Because liberal farts, they're stinkier and they love them. They love the smell of their own farts. We're going to collect environmentalists, put them in a room, and we're just going to collect their farts, and we're going to turn it into energy. Now pay me $1 billion. I'm not going to do that. But meanwhile, Australia has a record low birth rate. Australia's birth rate hits another record low. Fertility falls to 1.48 in 2025, second straight record low since 1924. Projected to drop further to 1.42, far below replacement rate. Australia is now nowhere near replacement level. This is exactly the decline Elon Musk has been warning about for years. So these fuckers are just selling us out to China. That's why anytime any fucking politician comes, like, politicians never do anything that benefits us. People need to get that through their fucking heads. They benefit themselves. They have never done a single thing that benefits humanity or its people. Governments do not work for the people. They work for themselves. A system is designed to do what the system does. The purpose of a system is to do what the system does, not what it claims to do. It's fucking unbelievable. It is really wild. And there's not one fucking... Oh, One Nation are getting up there in popularity. Oh, they're neck and neck with the fucking... with Labour. Big fucking deal. They're not going to be any different. They're not going to change anything. They're just going to step in and start raping us with a different dick. It's fucking... Man, until we start making explosives, nothing's going to change. Until we start stepping in and, like, dealing with it. Until some people get fucking murdered on the fucking lawn out the front of Parliament House, nothing's gonna fucking change. Violence has always been the answer, and it always will be the answer. Since the first people were on this fucking earth, violence. Govern equals control. Meant equals wind. The system is working well. Global population is millions will be reached soon. Yeah, look, I actually, like, I don't even believe the, you know, if you look on Google and you see the thing that's like, you know, oh, the current population is 8 billion and climbing. What incentive do they have to tell us the truth? They do not want the population to keep going up. Most countries, the only countries that are still breeding at anywhere near replacement rates are all the shit countries. So, you know, why do they want that? Well, because then they can control them. But the system is working well. The system is working perfectly. The system is doing what the system is designed to do. But to sit here and think that fucking voting is going to make any difference, to fucking think, oh, well, next time I'm going to vote the other way. I think I'll vote for a third party. This time I think I'll fucking, like... Yeah, well, we've all got to be there, Sandy. We've all got to get in on this. We've all got to fucking chip in a few dollars for, you know, things that go boom. I mean, I don't see another solution. I just don't see another solution. We got to take this shit back. We got to turn it around. I mean, the world has been turned into such a fucked up place where people simply can't afford to have kids. People can't afford. And they are just squeezing the last of the juice. And this has been a long plan. This is a long time coming. But and we all know... I'm going to play another video. Another Jew talking about some Jew shit. But this is about ivermectin. This is one guy that I think we should listen to these people because they know some stuff. But this is about ivermectin. Remember how fucking crazy... Yeah, actually, yeah. Vote for me or get fucked. If you do vote for me, some violence is going to happen. Just know that. Like, my whole platform is violent revolution. That is going to be, like, on the first day in office, there's going to be some death. There's going to be some violent fucking death. And if you don't vote for me, you will get fucked. I mean, that's where the whole fucking... my whole vote for me or get fucked thing comes from. Vote for me or you will get fucked. And you will just continue to get fucked. We all will. But it seems a lot of people are just quite happy to get fucked. So, I don't know. But yeah. So just a little... remember how crazy they said... people were with the whole ivermectin thing? Just more shit coming out. Just more stuff. So, hey, you were right. You were right. We were right this whole time.
Have you read Pierre Corey's book, The War on Ivermectin?
No.
Okay. There's something reported in this book that it really stops you in your tracks. It is an accidental natural experiment. Okay, so a natural experiment is something in science where maybe you happen on an archipelago in which you have a bunch of different islands that have different conditions, and you can go to each island and measure the, whatever parameter it is, because nature has given you an experiment that you can analyze. You don't have to build islands, right? In this case, what Pierre reports is that there were 80 court cases in which a family sued a hospital that was refusing to give ivermectin to a desperately sick family member, and they wanted the courts to intervene and force the hospitals to administer ivermectin. 80 cases. In 40 of those cases, the courts granted the family's request and ivermectin was administered. In 40 cases, they refused to intervene and no ivermectin was given. In 38 of the cases where ivermectin was given, the patient survived. In 2, the patient died anyway. In 38 of the cases where no ivermectin was given, the patient died, and in 2, the patient survived.
Wow.
Okay? Now, I find this is incredibly... I cannot vouch for the data itself. Because it's not published in a scientific paper, I can't go look at the methods, I can't go find the court cases. But assuming that the data is accurately reported, and I know Pierre well, he didn't make it up, so assuming that the data is accurate, the level of statistical significance on that accidental study is absolutely astronomical, right? I had Heather run a chi-squared calculation, and the p-value, I checked it also with 2 different AIs. The p-value comes out to be 5.03 times 10 to the negative 15, right? So what that means is that the chances of a result that strong, if ivermectin does not work, are something like the chances of you guessing a random 15-digit number on the first try.
Wow.
I mean, it's through the roof, right? This is a level of statistical significance we essentially never see.
And CNN turned it into a veterinary medicine.
Right. It turned you green.
Hilarious.
Right. So my point here is a couple-fold. One, the ivermectin story and the repurposed drug story more generally is a very important puzzle piece, because if repurposed drugs had been allowed to be used, if doctors had been allowed to go through the normal process of medicine that doctors go through, where they look at a patient who's ill, they see what their symptoms are, they try to figure out what might work for them, they talk to other doctors, they pool their information. If that process had been allowed to unfold, COVID is an entirely manageable disease in all but the most compromised people, right? There was no important pandemic.
How much longer are we just going to allow ourselves to be scammed like this? It's just... It's like we are in a fucking abusive relationship with these people. We're just... We're just like, oh, they didn't mean it. They will get better. They're really a nice person. They're just misunderstood. It's fucking hilarious. I think COVID was real. I think it was probably, but it was also, they used it to create a mass psychosis. Like when you look into how they create a psychosis and how you push it, like every step along the way was done to us. Like there was nothing, they didn't miss anything. It's pretty fucking incredible. It's kind of impressive. Oh, man. But again, all this stuff, it always comes back to the money. Like, follow the money and the control. The amount of You familiar with the band The Police? You know The Police? The drummer, Stuart Copeland, his father was CIA. His father's name was Miles Copeland. His brother's name was Miles Jr. But his father was CIA. He wrote a book. I've got his book here somewhere. So many of these people that become famous, the way they like take care of these people is they say your kids will, you know, like you'll get paid off by your kids becoming famous and rich and famous. So you'll have rich and famous kids, and it's basically that thing of your family being taken care of. We're keeping you in the inner circle. So the connection to Nirvana is really interesting. Because, you know, Kurt was killed because he was just because he was someone that did have a conscience, even though he was all fucking fucked up, and Nirvana was just a huge psyop to push feminism. But he was a guy of his time, and when he started to wake up to it all, he was, you know, going to ruin everything, so they offed him. But here's some really interesting fucking... The drummer of Police is... Oh, yeah, you've told me about him. Yeah. Stuart Copeland, he was one of my favorite drummers growing up. He's a great drummer. Like, this is what always makes me think, I don't know, these people, like, they're on another level, and they're all into that occult shit, because Stuart Copeland is one of the best rock and roll drummers out there, and he went out and he found Sting. And he said when he found Sting, he was just this guy that had an aura about him. And, you know. So he was in a band called Curved Air before that. I was a big fan of the Police, and I imitated Stuart Copeland's drumming style for a long time. It's very interesting, but check this shit out.
Cobain was killed because he found out there was handlers around him. Listen to this. Dave Grohl's father wrote speeches for Ronald Reagan. Dave Grohl came up in the DC punk scene. Dave Grohl was not an original member of Nirvana. Dave Grohl joined Nirvana after Nirvana moved from Sub Pop Records to Geffen Records. Geffen Records was owned by David Geffen. David Geffen was roommates with Courtney Love's father at one point way back in the day. Courtney Love's father used to manage the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead used to be known as the Warlocks and performed Rosicrucian rituals while performing on rose petals. Love is also from the DC punk scene and was a CIA sex kitten helping traffic drugs and LSD, just like the Grateful Dead did. Henry Rollins is also from the DC punk scene, and his father also worked for an American president, Richard Nixon, helping the U.S. get off the gold standard. Henry Rollins was also not a founding member of Black Flag. Dave Grohl was introduced to Nirvana and to Kurt by a guy named Buzz from the Melvins, who always had a weird contempt for Kurt Cobain. Right when Kurt Cobain was kind of deciding to get sober and to clean up his life, Pat Smear was introduced into Nirvana. Pat Smear becomes the future guitarist of the Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters' first album has a gun on the cover. Dave Grohl is known as the quote-unquote nicest guy in rock and roll for 20 years until he's outed as having a kid out of wedlock with a woman. In 1992, Kurt Cobain is asked his thoughts on the Grateful Dead, to which he responds he would piss on them while wearing a t-shirt saying "Kill the Grateful Dead," a handmade shirt he made himself, referencing him knowing everyone around him was a handler and or fed. Courtney Love's father wrote a book about how Courtney Love actually was one of the people who killed Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was killed because he started finding out what was going on around him, began signaling it was going to fire Dave from Nirvana and go solo. Why did Chris Novoselic not join the Foo Fighters, but Pat Smear did? Why was Dave Grohl pushed so hard by the music industry and by PR firms saying he's the nicest guy in rock for 20 to 30 years? We know that if everyone is pushing the same agenda, it's a psyop. The Foo Fighters are what the industry wanted Nirvana to be. The nicest guys in the music industry are the most dangerous. Check out the entire breakdown here.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters incredibly inoffensive rock and roll. Exactly what they want rock and roll to be. Seems dangerous, isn't dangerous. One thing I'll say about Nirvana, they were always dangerous. They were always like, he wore his heart on his sleeve. He put shit out there that you didn't necessarily want out there. I don't agree with a lot of the shit. I really can't listen to Nirvana anymore because it's so fucking... It's just too much feminist messaging in there, and when it's that level of and it's interesting that that film came out, Montage of Heck, that if the things said in that were true, it could reveal that, you know, Kurt was kind of a piece of shit at times, and did some things that weren't exactly empowering women. Which is why he was, you know, possibly such a hardcore feminist. But he was one of those guys that was always like, you know, women should run the world and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I find Nirvana's messaging now it's just such a psyop. It's just such a, like, yeah, you should unalive yourself and drop out and take it. Like, it's just the whole thing. I can't listen to it anymore. But I still do love the music. I loved them at the time. Hated them when they first appeared. But after a while was like, no, actually, when I first heard their first album. I can't quite read your name, but yes, thank you. It is a great show. Better than most shows, it said. Thank you for that. I walked in here and said, what a great show. That's a great show. I can't, it's so hard to see the names. Hang on. Let me fucking... Oh, it's the Filthy Gypsy. How are you, brother? Fuck. It's been too long, man. His MTV concert was awesome. Yeah, the Unplugged was one of the best Unplugged. I would match that with Radiohead's Unplugged. But their Unplugged isn't really a true Unplugged. But, yeah. You are too emotional. That's right. Good to see you, brother. Cobber. I should be more Australian. I should embrace my fucking Australianism. I should be more... I've been thinking about that. Go more Australian. Here's something I've been thinking about.
If you've been watching my videos for...
No, I'm not going to say it. Let's just have a quick listen to this. I came across this video earlier, and I thought this was... I've got like 100 fucking tabs open here. I could go for fucking hours. I probably won't, but I could. Because I've got like just bookmarking shit on X. And it's only stuff on it. I haven't even touched the stuff I've come across on Instagram and Facebook, and there's a really good video I wanted to show on on YouTube that was very funny. Anyway, I thought this was very interesting. This is Andrew Tate. As much as I don't particularly like Andrew Tate, I do like when he says smart shit. When he's just on Twitter trolling, it's just dumb shit. But he very often drops some really some really useful stuff. Like the thing he says about making money, like that's what we should be fucking doing. More bogan, you reckon? More bogan. I'll try. More fucking bogan, cunt. All right. Fuck, I wish I could get Andrew Roberts back in here. He's a fucking legend at that shit. But yeah, so I want to play this. This is just about, like, I don't know, it's kind of, it's an interesting, it's sort of an art of war thing, body language art of war. Let's, he's such a geek. Look at him. He's a geek.
If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll notice I'm animated when I talk. I move my hands all the time. You can watch any of my take speeches, I move my hands. If you watch me on Twitter or Instagram, I move my hands when I talk. I'm always moving my hands when I talk. And this is a habit I've learned. And I've learned to do this. And the reason I learned to do this is quite, I didn't think it was that interesting a story, but I told someone once and they found it was interesting. When I was young, I used to go to chess tournaments with my father. My father was one of the best chess players in the world. And a lot of the chess players were ex-KGB.
Emery was CIA, by the way. Another, and Tate is another member of the Black Eye Club. Whether he's actually a member of the Black Eye Club or not, I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, Emery Tate was CIA. That's a matter of public record.
And because they're Russians, and they're ex-KGB, and they now live in wherever, all over the world, and they're all chess players. So I hung around with a whole bunch of autistic nerds. My father, who was completely crazy and the best man alive.
One of my favorite things is all the people who have taken, like, pictures of, they've made the cartoons, because he is such a geek. He's such a geek-looking fuck. He's the, the man has no chin.
And KGB agents in one room. So it's a bit of an interesting scenario. And we were sitting, and I was sitting with my father, who spoke fluent Russian. My father spoke Russian fluently. He learned Russian in the Air Force. He was a linguist for the Air Force. In fact, he was intelligence. He worked for the CIA. Long story. Anyway.
There we go. He admits it.
Right. My father and about 3 Russians were sitting around talking in fluent Russian. And the Russians are very well known for being very stoic. They don't.
And isn't it interesting? We really don't know how Andrew Tate made his money. He tells us, oh, I got in with I did the OnlyFans thing, and then I got in with some gangsters. Like, he always gives himself this badass backstory. I own casinos. Yeah, I don't think he fucking does.
Don't talk very much. They're very hard people, especially the KGB guys, right? But the KGB guy told a story, and he was telling my father, saying that Russians in general aren't very animated when they speak. They sit still, they say yes, they say no, yes, blah, blah, blah. They're very, very calm. They don't like to talk too much. However, he was told that many Russians are trying to learn American mannerisms, and they're trying to learn to be more animated with their speech, and that many young people in the KGB, many Russians were learning to move their hands a lot more as they speak. And obviously, I didn't understand the conversation. My dad told me this afterwards. And I said to my dad, oh, is that so they can fit in better with Americans? He said, no, it's not so they can fit in. They like the idea of being animated. And this is an advantage, a tactical advantage I identified. If you're constantly animated, your moving doesn't scare people. So if I'm still and I decide to pull my weapon, you're going to notice. But if I'm always animated all the time, if I'm always moving every time I talk, you're not even going to fucking notice by the time I pull my gun. So they're saying the KGB agents, the younger ones, are learning to be more animated so they can attack you easier, and you're less likely to reply or respond. This is really interesting. I was told this at a young age. So I notice now, even now, if I'm in a room full of people and I'm constantly moving my hands, not that I'm a violent man, but especially if I'm in a room full of people I don't know, or if I'm in a bad situation, and if you watch these channels, you know I've been in a lot of bad situations, I always speak like this. And I speak like this because I'm always a step closer to smashing someone in the face than they anticipate. When they first, you'll notice, because humans identify these things. When I'm first in a room with 2 other men, and I'm moving my hands, at first they're a bit like, it's uneasy when a man's moving his hands. It's unusual, and they don't like it. But after 3 or 4 minutes, they're used to it. That's just how this crazy American talks. That's just how the American talks. He just likes to move his hands around. But now it's something I've learned, because being animated makes you more capable of assassination. And you never know. We live in a crazy world. Why not? I like to be expressive. But once I learned that the KGB are deliberately teaching their agents to be more animated in their speech so they're more capable of drawing a weapon or attacking somebody, this stuck in my head, and I decided, you know what, that's how I'm going to speak in my life. And there's a few times in my life, stories I cannot tell on YouTube where being animated got me the upper hand. It got me the upper hand, and it saved my life for real. So when people ask me, Andrew, why do you always move your hands so much? Why are you so animated when you speak? It's a learned habit. And it's a learned habit because I like the idea of tactical surprise. And this is why I'm always moving my hand.
He's one of the he's one of the greatest bullshit artists. I honestly think, like, after Donald Trump, who can we have that that's as good as or more of a bullshit artist than Donald Trump? And there's only one man for the job, and it's this man right here. That's not why you fucking move. You're not fucking, well, in case I have to assassinate someone, I move my hands. If you're a public speaker, if you are someone who speaks to the public, if you just sit and you talk, all you've got is your words. You just sit and you are saying your words. All you've got is your words, and your words better be fucking engaging. And most of the time, your words aren't that engaging, especially if you're coming straight off the dome, right? So if you move and you accentuate certain words and you put accents on the words with your movements, it creates more engaging content. That's what it's about. It's not about fucking assassinating people. Although, if I did need to assassinate someone, I'd do it with an egg to the face. An egg shaped like his head. I'd throw a big egg at their face. That's how I would assassinate. And because I'm moving so quickly, you'd never see it coming. He's a wonderful I love him for his bullshit. But every now and then he does say so. The thing he says about making money, that's very true. We should all be making money. We should be starting a business. We should all be getting on and starting a fucking business of some kind where we're making a ton of money. Because that's how we change the world. Money changes the world. I just love that. In case I have to assassinate someone. How often have you ever needed to assassinate someone? But again, here it is again. His father was CIA. Now he's this big, rich, famous guy. And famous for what? He's famous in the social media age. For being a social media guy. And owning Bugattis. And exploiting women. Yeah, he's a killing machine. So this is interesting. I need to get... It pisses me off. I've got a phone somewhere that has a headphone jack in it, and I need a phone with a headphone jack in it because I've got some music that I've got some things that I want to listen to that I need headphones for. I do not want to use iPods. Well, AirPods. I don't like them. But that whole AirPod thing has just gotten even worse. So Apple's shocking patent exposed. AirPods that can read your thoughts and monitor your brain in real time. Now, I don't know how serious this is. I don't know how well it can monitor your brain, but being that they are right in your ears, they could pick up all sorts of electrical signals. So who knows? Apple has filed patent US 20230225659A1 for revolutionary earbuds loaded with hidden electrodes that slide deep into your ear canal. These devices are designed to measure electrical brain activity through EEG, along with muscle movements, eye movements, heart rate, and far more biosignals than anyone expected. Not bulky lab equipment on your scalp, these sensors sit quietly inside and around your outer ear for superior accuracy with almost zero visible hardware and no annoying movement. The patent openly admits this setup delivers cleaner, more reliable brainwave data than ever before. Picture this. While you listen to music, take calls, or scroll in silence, your AirPods are secretly mapping your brain activity. Every thought pattern, stress spike, focus level, emotional shift, and subconscious reaction could be captured and sent straight to Apple's servers. They will market it as helpful features like seizure alerts or advanced sleep tracking. But this technology opens the door to total neurosurveillance on a global scale. Your most private mental data harvested 24/7 under the guise of a simple pair of earbuds. Who really gets access to your brain signals? Apple? Their business partners? Governments? Or anyone willing to pay in the exploding neuro data market? Full patent details are posted in the comments below. Read it before the narrative changes. What are they truly building with your mind? Stay awake. Your ears may be the front line to the war for mental freedom. Yeah, good stuff. They're going to read your brain through these bad boys. Look at them. Look at them. Stick those in your ears. The only thing that they'll get from me is this guy has too much earwax. Jim's Coffee replies, that's old tech. Mind control and remote neural monitoring patents. They've actually had stuff since the 70s that you could use you can control external things with your mind. You can, make a thing go up. They had it in the 70s. It was like a trick toy that you could use at home. You could buy it and you'd take it home and it'd be like, ooh. Yeah, the apple symbol is the bite of the forbidden fruit. That's their whole thing was like, yeah, look at us. That's what technology is. It's the knowledge of good and evil. Non-invasive mind reading via radio waves, neural dust, mind control systems using EEG genetic map, remotely monitoring brain waves, communication via brain activity monitoring, thought transsinus affecting brain cortex, vascular implanted wireless neural interface, method and apparatus. There's a lot of misspelling here for translating brainwaves to output devices. Voice to skull, synthetic telepathy and microwave auditory effects. We were talking about those earlier. I believe I've had those used on me. Either that or I was in touch with something otherworldly. I really don't know. Hearing system, pulse microwave for direct audible voice in brain. Hearing device. Apparatus. I'm sure that's meant to be apparatus for audibly. Yeah. Anyway, you get the point. It's that shit's been around for a long time. Hi, I read the actual patent. This post is misleading. These patents cannot read your mind. These patents can be used to see if you are dead, alive, whether or not you have brain activity detected. These cannot track muscle movements such as eye movement. That is ridiculous. Brainwave data is not conclusive of your emotions or what you are thinking. It may present high brain usage activity versus low brain usage activity. Well, that's essentially, like, you've got to take these posts. Any of these posts, you got to take them like, all right, this person is talking it up. Also, this was published in 2023 and has probably already been used on AirPods Pro 2 with their auto pause media on sleep feature. Did you know your AirPods and wireless headphones are literally cooking your brain while you wear them? According to U.S. patent application, like I wouldn't like I don't like using those things. Like your phone, this fucking thing, it says in here, in the settings, it says you got to keep this fucking thing at least 5 millimeters away from your body. Otherwise, they can't be held liable for the cancers you'll get. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. It's my manager. What? Hello? Israel. BB. $1 million a month. Guys, I've been thinking about this whole Israel situation, and you know, I've come to realize it's not a genocide. It's just a wealth transfer. Those Palestinians have been living high on the hog for too long. Anyway, that was a bit I was thinking about. I think I'll just abandon it because it's kind of stupid. Yes, suspicious Google searches. Google fuel refinery. Yeah. Well, they'll be able to read your ass then. That could be worse. So, suspicious these this whole thing of doing the checking when people have checked Google searches is kind of amazing.
Hi guys, so this is part 4 of my investigation into the recent Geelong fuel refinery fires, and today we're going to be looking at some suspicious Google searches that took place in the weeks leading up to this from countries with deep links to intelligence agencies. Now, if you haven't seen part 2 and particularly part 3, go back and rewatch those. They'll be available on all my social platforms. But thanks to Jane Smith that brought this to my attention. And again, Google searches prior to major events is nothing new and something I was already planning on looking into. But Jane brought this to my attention with her screenshots here from February with the terms coming out of Israel, these searches for Australian fuel refinery, Brisbane refinery. Remember, we're down to 2 fuel refineries now, or possibly 1 if the Geelong one goes offline, and all 3 of these have got these Google searches coming out of Israel in the months leading up to these recent fires. So you have to ask yourself, why is it overseas?
It's always Israel.
Country with deep links to intelligence agencies and a history of being involved in false flags and psyops, searching for the names of our last 2 functioning fuel refineries. Now, the other thing I do want to mention here, again, keep these dates in mind, February in these screenshots that Jane has taken. As I said, this is...
I will say, Jake, if you stick an AirPod up your ass, you'll get amazing bass.
Nothing new, and this happened with the Charlie Kirk incident and several other psyops and false flags we've seen recently where we have these Google searches taking place for very specific terms that how could anyone possibly know these 2 names were going to be linked, for example, before these events unfold. But what is interesting to note here, and as someone says in this top comment, fake news, check it for yourself. Often Google Trends will go back and change the historical data, and different people will get different search results, which has been the case for me here. So as I said, with Jane's screenshots, she was saying that these took place in February, but when I do the same search for Geelong fuel refinery, searches coming out of Israel, it actually shows that the most recent searches happened on April 10th and April 6th, so 1 week and 2 weeks prior to these Geelong fuel refinery attacks. This is the same with the Brisbane refinery, where I get this date coming in March, so a month prior to all this happening. And then for the Australian oil refinery, which is the 3rd term that she searched, it gets no results compared to her. So again, you guys let me know what you think of this. When you search these terms on Google Trends, what does it show you? And this is probably a deeper conversation about how we know what is real at all on the internet these days, and what are the algorithms feeding you, and is it giving different people different results. So interesting stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below.
Well, one thought is these things are always coming out of Israel. Couldn't you just use a VPN and put yourself in Israel before doing the searches? And then it always turns up it's Israel and everyone goes, yeah, it's Israel. It's always Israel. I mean, Apple, a lot of Jews. I walked in here and I said, wow, that's a lot of Jews. You ever read the Bible? That's a lot of Jews. So many Jews. Speaking of a lot of... Oh, man. I bet there were a lot of Jews involved in this. So remember that Oklahoma City bombing?
Are you the Oklahoma City bomber?
Maybe one of the benefits of me talking to you today is that you'll see that maybe not everything is true that you've heard about me.
On the morning of April 19, 1995, a decorated Gulf War combat vet blew up the federal building in Oklahoma City using a truck bomb that he didn't build in a Ryder truck that he didn't rent with the help of a passenger who didn't exist. Having just gotten away with the largest act of terrorism on U.S. soil to date, the Fort Bragg-trained Special Forces Sheep Drip Dropout blended in with the crowd by making his getaway in a car without a license plate and was immediately pulled over. The ATF was the supposed target of the attack, but luckily all of their agents were out of the office that morning. Later that day, the president boldly declared,
"We will find the people who did this.
And
when we do, justice will be swift, certain, and severe."
Except for
John Doe number 2. John Doe number 2.
John Doe number 2.
Who, according to the FBI, never existed. In McVeigh's unprecedented 3.5-week trial, the prosecution didn't show the CCTV footage of him and John Doe number 2 parking the Ryder truck. Didn't explain why 24 separate witnesses mass hallucinated the existence of John Doe number 2. Didn't explain why the government was testing truck bombs and the Army was storing Ryder trucks at Camp Gruber right before the bombing. And didn't talk to the FBI informants who blew the whistle on the plot. But they did collaborate with the CIA, and they did convict McVeigh as the lone wolf bomber and Terry Nichols as his bomb-constructing accomplice. Still, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists, including 300 bombing victims, insist on talking about facts and evidence and refuse to simply believe what they've been told a million times by people in tailored suits with well-coiffed hair. They quote the U.S. Army Brigadier General and the FBI crime lab whistleblower and the inventor of the neutron bomb, who point out the physical impossibility that the Ryder truck bomb did the damage to the building, but that doesn't matter because if there were other bombs in the building that day, we would have heard about them.
The second explosive was found and defused. I think he said another bomb.
The Justice Department is reporting that a second explosive device has been found.
They then found a third device, which was also larger than the first.
And I see another bomb truck going, so apparently they're going to try to get out that third bomb.
The FBI claims to have lost the footage showing McVeigh and John Doe number 2 parking the truck in front of the Murrah building that morning, but that's understandable because the Bureau has a lot of important evidence to store. Terry Nichols insists the FBI was involved in the plot, but thankfully a judge has saved us the trouble of listening to him by preventing lawyers from deposing him. There was a bomb squad truck parked across the street 2 hours before the blast, but that just shows the authorities were prepared for anything. And
other documents obtained by 2020 show that someone called the Executive Secretariat's office at the Justice Department in Washington and said the Murrah building had been bombed. But this was 24 minutes before the blast.
But that just shows the public was unusually vigilant that morning. Also,
apparently, before the bombing, Governor Frank Keating's brother, Mark, had been working on a novel about a terrorist bombing in Oklahoma City. Stranger still, one of the characters in the novel was named Thomas McVeigh.
But that's probably just a coincidence. McVeigh wrote a letter to his sister where he admitted to being a secret Special Forces operative, and he complained to friends of the pain in his ass from an Army-implanted microchip, but that's crazy because if he didn't actually leave the Army in 1991, there would be proof of that.
Shape-dipped.
McVeigh was not executed on May 16, 2001 as scheduled because
the FBI had failed to turn over thousands of pages of evidence to McVeigh's defense attorneys.
But the execution went ahead on June 11th. In a highly unusual and secret agreement, no autopsy was performed. One witness said he was still breathing, and the prison officials admitted his hearse was a decoy. Then, the case was officially closed. And if you question any part of this story, you are a paranoid wingnut birther, truther, tenther, prepper conspiracy loon who'd bring up any of these points ever again. Ever. This message has been brought to you by the friends of the FBI, ATF, DOJ, CIA, SPLC, MSM, and the U.S. Army. And remember, ignorance is strength.
I love those videos. Whoever it is that makes those videos, it's so good. The government wouldn't lie about it. Of course they wouldn't. They're on our side, man. They work for us. Don't ever forget, they work for us. We pay their wages. They work for us. I'm sure I've played the 9/11 one before, but yeah. Sheep dipping is a term, by the way. It just means they, like, because McVeigh sounds, again, he sounds crazy. They all sound crazy. We all sound crazy until something happens. And then people just go, oh, but this is what kills me. People go, yeah, but he was crazy. And you go, yeah, but everything he said is true. It's now true. And it's come true. All the stuff, they go, yeah, but he was crazy. People are so easily convinced that, you know, oh, this person's crazy. They're talking crazy stuff, so they're clearly crazy. And then when the shit happens, that it all happens that they said was going to happen, people go, yeah, but he was, because they're convinced now that this person's crazy. So it's purely a coincidence that everything that they said was going to happen happens. As people are brilliant. I fucking love people so much. And people deserve what they're getting, to be honest. This is what it just makes me constantly go, you know what? All these fuckheads deserve what they're fucking getting. I don't know how to live in this world. I don't know how to live with it. I don't know how to exist in it. I can't fucking get along in this world. It's too frustrating. So what I've said for a long time. IQ shouldn't be IQ. It should be MI. It should be the fucking misery index. The higher your fucking IQ, the more fucking miserable you'll be because you swim in a fucking sea of average and you can't relate to people. It sucks. Just a little while after Timothy McVeigh happened to be at the Waco standoff. What a coincidence. How far did Waco happen after Bundy, like the Lindbergh baby, just fed creeping on states' rights, while also covering their criminal tracks? Yep, I wish I could find that video of McVeigh selling bumper stickers at the Waco event. I saw it before I even had a Twitter account and haven't been able to find it. They scrub the internet of all this stuff. They, like, there's something I've noticed about Professor Jiang. He's, everything, all of his research and all of his conclusions, it's all from the internet. None of his stuff is independent research. It's all from the internet. This is what makes me very suspicious of him. Yeah, same. You just sit back and watch and observe. You enjoy yourself. This is what I keep coming to, is just enjoy yourself. Focus on getting as much joy out of life as you can. Don't bother with it. Like, this shit, it's fun. Like, I enjoy kind of talking about this and ranting about it and going, look, isn't this crazy? But I'm not invested. I don't give a shit. Like, you can't care about this stuff. It's fucking insane. You can't, like, it is literally like being in a fucking, it's like that thing. I hate that thing, sheeple. I mean, it's such a fucking stupid thing. Oh, sheeple. But it's accurate. That's the problem. It's a popular saying because it's so fucking accurate. Because it is. It's like being in a field full of sheep and you're going, you know, they're coming to fucking kill us. And the people are just like, bah, bah. Down in front. Stop interrupting my Netflix and sports ball. So yeah, you really can't. But yeah, he was absolutely sheep dipped. Sheep dips when they take you. He was in the military. They put him in something else. He's in some special ops thing. They just take him and they sheep dip him, and they get rid of all connections that he has to military and whatever. After post military, whatever he went into, they get rid of all of that, and they make it look like he's in something else. So it's like, oh, he's a crazy fucking conspiracy guy living on a farm somewhere. That's how they paint him, and then bang, he's in action, bam, he takes the fall. Yeah, ignorance is bliss. That is like, I want to get that on a t-shirt. Because it is. Ignorance is fucking... Maybe it should be bliss is ignorance. Just choose ignorance. Remember, choose life? I'm choosing ignorance now. I just, like, ignorance is the only way. Zhang is more than likely CCP. He was Canadian, now he's in China, and they made it. Yeah. Yeah, he's not really a professor. He's admitted that. I think he had to. I think it got to the point where people were going, well, you know, so he had to admit it. But I'm always suspicious of people who just like pop up that quickly on the internet from out of nowhere. I know you can do it where you buy likes and you buy engagement, which is possibly how Ian Carroll came up, but every time I've ever looked at Ian Carroll, I always look at him and go, he looks like a CIA guy. He looks like the guy the CIA would... He looks like someone who should be working at the fucking CIA. So, yeah, I don't know. But Zhang is... he's definitely, like, 100%... And I'm going to state this. Like, this is... It's not question. You cannot question. He is an agent of demoralization. Whether he's working for someone or not doesn't fucking matter. He is an agent of demoralization. Whether he's accurate or not, he has a pretty good hit rate with his accuracy. He's not 100% accurate. He's gotten quite a few things wrong, but he's gotten more things right than he's gotten wrong. I don't believe that. And he presents his things like he's teaching this in high school and he has students. The whole thing is designed to give it gravitas. That is not a fucking high school course. That's not, no one is teaching that in high school. And he says, oh, this is game theory. I'm teaching game theory. He's teaching internet conspiracy theory. Everything he does is based in internet fucking conspiracy. It's all internet research. There's nothing's based on actual papers. There's no economic data behind this. It's all internet. So he's put it in like he's teaching this like it's a class. That is not a class. No one is. Here's all the latest conspiracy. Here's what's going to happen next. Here's all these fucking... No one's teaching that in high school. It's... Yeah, I just don't fucking buy it. I think he's one of those people. He's another one. All of these people on the internet, I think they're worth listening to. But always take everything with a pinch of salt. Glean what you can from them. But I don't know. The second you start just going, oh, this guy's right on about everything. And look at their end message. Like Zhang's final message is, we're all fucked. That's his conclusion. That's the conclusion he always comes to. Oh, by 2060, we're all fucked. That is an agent of demoralization. And he's wrong. He's wrong about so much shit. He might be right about what they're aiming for, but his whole thing is like, and then this is going, and the Jews are the ones who are going to save the world, okay? And then we're going to come in and see. It doesn't matter about us. It's a matter about how the Jews get along with God. See, because they're the ones who matter, and we don't matter. I know you don't like to hear this, but we're the ones. We don't matter because we're just goyim, okay? He's a fucking demoralizing piece of shit. And don't fucking, listen to the data points he's dropping, but don't fucking buy into his message. He's a fucking, What? The fucking audio's cutting. Oh, I might be busting my fucking, I'll bring it down a little bit. I might be a little hot. Let me just make sure that's working. I might have been busting out my audio levels. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Ian promoted Jew phones for privacy and Jewish-owned blockchain social media. Yep, they all do in the end, you know. That's I've got to work on getting my audio levels a bit better. I was having this problem previously. I just have my audio not so hot. It shouldn't cut out. Audio's fine there. Grouse. It might be, yeah. I wonder if it's the different platforms. I don't know. It could be fucking YouTube just cutting me out because they don't like me talking shit about Jang, one of their favorites. I get so sick of fucking social, all this tech shit. Like, we're engaging with it. We're using it. We're using the tech. It's how we communicate. It's how we connect. But there are so many problems with it. There are just so many problems with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are kids now. I saw a thing the other day about teachers. Oh, you restarted? Cool, bro. Typical Jew behavior. It is. But again, this is to be expected. We know what we're dealing with. We just, you know, we just got to deal with this shit best we can. And, you know, like, some people out there, they want to, like, unalive the Jews. I don't. I just want to put them in a zoo, you know? We're not the same. I just want to put them in a Jew zoo. Fun day, take your kids. Erica Kirk. I'm glad Erica Kirk, I really feel like they have pushed the Erica Kirk thing. Like, they went so hard with it and really, like, overdid it in a way. Like, they were so fucking obvious with it all with Erica. It shows, like, it really shows how fucking out of touch. It was the Austrian painter's birthday. Yeah, I can't believe I missed it. Yeah, Juzu. Everyone loves the Juzu. If you, like, it's a fun day for the kids. You go, you throw bananas at them and shit. It'll be fun. I can't believe I missed his birthday. He probably noticed too. He's like, why hasn't the box of dogs wished me a happy birthday? I can't believe this. After all I've done for him? That motherfucker. Put him on the train. Well, as long as it's a free train. Anyway, yeah, I really think Erica Kirk, I think they went too far with Erica Kirk. I think they went, like, so overboard with their, like, it seems like it was run by the gay Republican mafia. Like, coming out to fucking fireworks, and it was just so gauche and, like, on the nose. And yeah, throw coins, throw 5-cent piece. That's how I reckon, actually, that, like, if America's going to keep giving billions of dollars to Israel, keep giving it to them, but give it to them in pennies. Fly over in a B-52 bomber, or, you know, a fleet of them, and just drop pennies on them. And they'll be so busy picking up the pennies, they won't have time to do anything else. That's my theory. You know, let's listen to what the gay Mexican has to say. Really, you had two barbecues. That's good, man. But did you cook some Jew sausage?
I have to know, what do you think about Erica Kirk?
Well, you know, I got a lot of flack for this.
Yeah.
I criticized Erica Kirk. But look, here's the thing about Erica. Nobody wants to say anything about Erica Kirk because she's a grieving widow. And so that's just decency. Nobody wants to attack a young woman who lost her husband to a vicious public execution and now has 2 fatherless children. That being said, nobody would be saying anything if she went home and grieved. But she didn't do that. She immediately assumed control of Turning Point USA, which already was one of the most influential, powerful, conservative nonprofits and for-profit entities in the conservative movement, and which became far more powerful after Charlie died because of his apparent martyrdom. So within 72 hours, she becomes Charlie's successor. And now she's in Washington, D.C., it seems, all the time, with J.D. Vance, with Donald Trump, with all these other powerful people. Now, I'm going to tell you what I don't like. I don't like when people take tragedy or a sob story or something that's emotionally impactful and they use it as cover so you can't ask questions or criticize. And I feel like that's what is happening here. Like I said, if she were a widow grieving, no one should or could say anything about her. It would be out of line. But we're not talking about Erica Kirk, the grieving widow. We're talking about Erica Kirk, the president of Turning Point USA and close personal friend of J.D. Vance, heir apparent of MAGA. We can't ask questions about who this person is. We can't criticize or be skeptical of who she is because she cries. See, that I feel is manipulative, and that I don't like. So when people start to tell me for emotional or moral reasons, you can't ask that question, that's when I get even more suspicious. So Erica Kirk, I don't know her, and that's sort of the thing. Who really is she? I don't think anybody knows, actually.
Not to force you to give a take on it without evidence, but what do you think could be happening with her?
What I think, without knowing her or knowing Charlie personally for that matter, I get the impression that their marriage was political. I think it was arranged. And this
100%.
happens in elite circles. Charlie was an ambitious and increasingly very powerful, very young man. Erica, from what I'm told, it was her desire to marry political royalty. She's one of these people. I don't know who her parents are, but she's since been seen in music videos and reality shows. She was trying to make a name for herself.
There are many women out there who decide early on that that's what they want. And they get in. This is why a lot of the stuff with Epstein, people are going, oh, this person had. And the women all come out and go, oh, yeah, I'm a victim of Epstein. Most of those women that were involved with Epstein were not fucking victims. They were there on purpose. They were there because they wanted to be there, because being involved with Epstein meant they were going to meet powerful, rich people, and that's what they wanted. They wanted to meet these people, and so they train them up. They go, okay, well, if you want this life where you get to have all of this stuff that you didn't earn, you didn't work for, you didn't make this, but you're going to marry someone. Here's how you have to behave. These are manufactured wives. That's how this shit works. These guys that are rich and powerful, they don't go and meet some fucking bimbo at a bar and marry her like the fucking, what's that fucking movie, Pretty Woman? Some rich guy finds a prostitute with a heart of gold and decides to fucking... I've never seen the movie. I don't know how it ends. I don't know if he marries her or murders her, but neither would surprise me. Although the murdering at the end, that would be a much more interesting movie, in my opinion. But, you know, that's just me. I'm dark. Whatever. But yeah, these people, and Charlie wasn't there yet, but he was like, all right. His whole career was planned out. He stepped off the fucking reservation when he started noticing shit and going, okay, well, I can't keep fucking doing this. If he had have just maintained, if he didn't have any fucking integrity, he'd still be alive now on his way to being the president in 28 or 32 or whenever. And she would be beside him going, oh my God, he's so great. And we're so in love and we have these pretend babies. This stuff it's political theater. And these people are all actors. It's none of this is organic.
And so you tend to find that among people who are rich and famous or influential, they don't meet their wife at a coffee shop or on a dating app. They get set up by other people.
There you go. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, you shouldn't notice things. It's not good to notice. You ever notice that when you start noticing things, you get killed? What's the deal with that?
This powerful man needs a wife. This young lady wants to marry a powerful man. They get set up. And I get the sense, and I've heard a rumor, that was something like an arranged marriage. Now, that doesn't mean there's inherently anything sinister going on there. And maybe they grew to love each other eventually, but it does speak to the fact that, you know, maybe everything about Charlie Kirk's life was a fabrication. Candace Owens said it's like the Truman Show. It was a created world. Now, what Candace gets wrong is she thinks Charlie was a victim. I think he knew full well. He gave himself fully to the political grift, and that comes with it. Fake talking points, fake friends, fake patrons, fake messaging. And yeah, I mean, maybe even on some level, his family life was an artifice. It was sort of manufactured for public consumption. Now, that's me saying that from the outside looking in as someone speculating, but it looks to me like that was an arranged marriage. And if so, you have to wonder, does this woman have political ambitions? Because that's what everybody's thinking. This is your Kyle Rittenhouse. This is your, whatever. This is your political victim who is now going to give a political endorsement or maybe be a political contender in the future. That's what makes me a little skeptical. When she said this line about the cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry, and she goes up on the show a week after his death and says, we have more business than ever. We're going to keep fighting. It's like, okay, so now you're a political figure. Oh, and also I can't criticize you because you were the victim of a tragedy. Something's not right there.
Yeah, the annoying factor is that's how they stand out. If they weren't annoying, they wouldn't stand out. You know what I mean? It's like George Bush, the second one, used to do this great thing where he would mispronounce words. I can't remember what it's called, but comedians do it all the time. A lot of us do it in comedy where we'll go... it's like I used to have a thing where I'd go, mispronouncing things is really, really stupid. And I'd go, well, agree to misagree. You mispronounce things and it will stick in people's heads. People will remember. Like George Bush, there's two very famous things that George Bush said, and everyone remembers that George Bush said them. When he said, when he said, fool me once, shame on me, shame on you. You can't get fooled again. He knows what the saying is. Everyone knows what the saying is, but everyone now remembers that it was George Bush saying it. The other one he said that, and I think this is a fucking classic. I think it's fucking genius. He said, "Don't misunderestimate me, or don't misunderestimate us." Misunderestimate, and everyone just looked at George. Everyone thought George was a fucking idiot, but he was leader of the free world. So who's the fucking idiot? You know. Fuentes is a white man until the police show up to his door. Then he's Mexican. But he speaks for us. Yeah, gay Mexican. Bushies. Bushisms. I can't remember what the word... There is a word for it where... malapropriisms. Malapropriisms? Malapropisms. Something like that. It's malapropisms or something like that. It's just where you take a... Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Can't get fooled again. Everyone remembers it. And yeah, so being annoying is like, it's just them standing out. But yeah, you're right, they are. We live in such a fucking weird time where, like, yeah, a gay Mexican speaks for white people. And I don't know if he is gay or not, but everyone says he's gay. It's kind of fun to say he's gay. I don't know if he's gay. He might be just fucking... might be just a true believer with the whole, you know... Oh, this is so great. This is so wonderful. With the this is another case of the government doing their thing where there's a crisis and there's a problem, and it's usually a problem. Yeah, fuck the USA, absolutely. Like I always say, you know, if you hate what Israel's doing, you can't really love the USA because they're the same thing. It's the same animal. They're doing exactly the same thing. But the government creates a problem. The government's like, then they've got to deal with the problem, and so to deal with the problem, they punish us. They did this. It's a classic tactic that they did this through COVID. So this is so great. Point-to-point traffic monitoring. Detections include roof racks, loads, and tyre pressure. Location, Hume Highway, Seymour to Broadford. Roof rack, load, penalty infringement notice issued, infringement number, fine amount, $1,872 and 4 demerit points. And the tyre pressure was off. So they're just like, no, you can't have roof racks on. We're trying to save petrol, so we, you know, make sure you. This is what they do. They put this shit on us, and they punish us to make us feel like. And everyone's like, "Oh, well, I'm helping." How are you helping? But like. It's so fucking retarded. This is what they did with the masks and wear a mask because, you know, otherwise you're killing my grandma. Well, fuck your grandma. If your grandma dies because I didn't wear a mask, maybe she fucking deserves to be dead. It's just nuts. It is just nuts. This is interesting. This is about the feminization of society and whatnot.
So men are much better at resolving conflict and then moving on, whereas women tend to hold on to things and sort of not move on after conflict. And that's what we saw a lot during wokeness. People were targeted for behavior or for making statements that were un-PC. And until, pre-wokeness, the way you would deal with a situation like that is you would have a debate. James Damore would be at Google and he would say, I think female underrepresentation in science is due to biological attributes and not bias. The way to deal with that is to have a conversation about whether he's correct or not. The way wokeness deals with that is by saying, I can't believe you just said that. I'm going to get you fired from your job. Wokeness was an inability to have any kind of open debate because the very existence of that debate seemed too much like conflict, and conflict had to be suppressed. And this was just so massively toxic for so many institutions since 2020. And the reason why I think it's important to consider whether wokeness is a product of demographic feminization is because if it is, that means wokeness is not over. A lot of people look around, they think, Donald Trump won the election, wokeness is finished, we can all move on, the vibe shift is here. But I think that if wokeness is just female patterns of behavior in institutions where women were not as well represented until recently, then that means it's here to stay and we need to deal with it head on. I think a lot of us would accept that in many cases, fields become more and more feminized, not because women are out competing men within that field, but because women are feminizing that field and making it more and more friendly to feminine preferences and patterns of behavior. Like if you're working at a business that is so HRified that it's like, the HR lady designed every aspect of your day-to-day office experience. She determined who advanced at that company, who got the best promotions and the best assignments, and everything was touchy-feely in a HRified type of way. Obviously, a masculine man is not going to do well in that environment, and he's not going to advance. But that's not because he's not competitive. It's not because he's not good at his job. It's just because that kind of highly feminized organization is not friendly to his virtues and attributes.
Yep.
So I think when we consider how do we deal with feminization, if it's something we want to roll back, how should we go about it? That's the first place to look. Are there any institutions or organizations that are too feminized in this unnatural way?
Yeah, she makes a lot of good points there. There's a terrific story about a guy who had landed some kind of space module. Like they've been working on deflecting comets and whatnot for a while. And this guy landed some kind of rocket on a comet, which is an incredible feat. And he was able to I think he was also able to steer it in a slightly, which was all they were trying to do, see if they could land something on it. This guy landed a fucking rocket on a comet in space, an incredible feat, and then got fired because when he accepted, when they were saying, hey, well done, and he was making his speech, he was wearing a shirt that was covered in women with their tits out and their ass out. Just fucking nuts. The feminization, it says in the Bible, it says your punishment will be that your country will be run by women and children. That's where we are now. What a fun time. And they wonder why more and more men are just opting out. This was really good. So Jordan Peterson has recently, it's been, his daughter's come out and said, oh, he's really sick, he's got something, it's a year of hell and all this kind of stuff. And Owen just covers the kind of shit, Like, this is absolutely the kind of shit that will lead to your life becoming hell. And what's hilarious about it is that Jordan Peterson actually talked about this for years. It was like his whole thing of like, you have to tell the truth. If you don't tell the truth, you're going to create your own hell. And that's a kind of dialectic that you don't want any part of, bucko.
And so this is conservative. What's this shit?
Yeah, this is
Who are
conservative
breastfed
now.
do better.
Yep.
I believe that 1 year of breastfeeding is equivalent to, I think breastfed kids have a 5-point IQ advantage. And
I breastfed for 33 years.
I still breastfeed.
1 point IQ is worth 1 year of education.
I have
basically.
2 freezers in my garage, 2 industrial freezers full of breast milk.
Right.
Yeah, because that's the same thing.
Right.
Where did this little Jew get his milk from?
Right.
David has done all the research on this.
Right. So another complication, but okay. And so
this is
but
insane.
Roughly speaking,
Thanks,
women
man.
tend to do the nurturing thing more and men do the encouraging thing.
So, yeah, but one of these guys takes it in his anus, so he's kind of like the woman.
More. So now the question is, how do you mediate? How do you manage to fulfill both those roles in the absence of a heterosexual arrangement?
Now,
Yes.
you know David pretty well, and we've been out to dinner with Tammy Man.
I mean,
I fucked him. I fucked David many times. We have gangbangs all the time, the 3 of us. I can't even begin to comprehend getting my dick sucked by a woman now.
I know David pretty well. He's a real bitch. He acts like a menstruating little cunt. He's always whining and bitching and nagging, so he's the woman. And he's the one that takes it in his anus. Since he receives the insertion, that's what a woman is, right? The thing you pound on, right? That's what a woman is. Since the asshole is like a hole too, it's like the vagina.
And you know him. He is incredibly warm and nurturing and loving and deeply cares about all those things. And I'm telling you, he is reading about skin to skin.
I'm very warm and nurturing and loving. Does that make me a woman? So, like, being warm and loving. Dude, I hugged all my kids this morning and asked them about their dreams. I'm a very warm and loving man. And these twisted Jews' fucking stupid brains, they're like, oh no, if you're like warm and caring, that means you're a woman. But you also have to take a penis in your anus and you have to buy milk off these fucking trafficked clones.
Contact every day and all of the breast milk stuff and everything. And I know he will have a huge.
Are you gay? Dude, my new thing is just to be like, so like if someone's like, oh yeah, I'm gay. I'm like, dude, you just admitted you're gay. You know, like just reset and make it seem like it's fucking nuts that someone admits they're gay. Because it is nuts. Like, let's get back to that now. Another thing, act like you don't know what the Holocaust is and make people explain it to you. Just be like, Holocaust? I'm not familiar with that. What is that? And they're like, what do you mean? It's the worst thing ever. Oh, I've never heard of it. Can you explain it to me? They're like, well, there's a roller coaster and a pile of shoes, and it just sounds like retarded.
That a mother would bring. But I also know it's not all of it. And we thought we could take some of my sister's eggs, and she's a mother now. She's actually pregnant with her third. But that we could get her eggs, and then we would take David's sperm, and then we would have 2 children from that. After a long time of time.
That's so twisted and psychotic.
They're
about
writing
a year
a country
debating that
song.
back and forth and going through all that. There were a lot of.
My sister is my mother, and my lover is my daddy, and my dog fucked my daughter. It's like the worst fucking country song ever written. My 2 gay daddies.
Ethical and moral issues, and my sister then would be the biological mother of my children. I mean, there were all sorts of.
Do you see why Sodom and Gomorrah happened? There comes a point when even a paternal, loving father that just keeps, because people go, then why is there pain in the world? Why do bad things happen? Because you did them, right? So you have this loving God that allows you to feel pain so that you learn. Eventually there comes a time when it's like, dude, fuck this. When you got a guy being like, you know, I take the eggs of my sister and put them in some fucking Indian who needs money. And then my sodomite that I live with is going to do the chest feeding with a tube after I fuck him in his asshole. This is on the Daily Wire. This is the conservative voice. Go fuck yourselves. Oh, really? Well, I mean, I can't believe people listening to Candace Owens. I mean, she's like a demon. Anyways, anybody heard from Dave fucking Rubin? Him and a sodomite are pretending to be like male and female married, and they're breastfeeding. But God forbid Candace Owens fucking wonders who killed her friend.
That's one of my favorite Owen videos recently. It's the whole thing is very fucking like, we're all born, every creature on this planet is born with certain instincts and certain knowledge, and one of the things is to feed. And you suck on them titties real good. That's like the earliest, like, how can you deny anyone the chance to suck on them titties real good? Like, they're going to grow up so confused. They're going to see titties and they're going to be like, everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, fuck, check out those titties. We're going to suck on those titties real good. They're going to be like, why? Why do you want to suck on the titties? It's going to be like, because it's what we do. It's like, you know, my granddad is a lampshade. My grandmother was soap. My nieces and nephews are a pile of shoes. So I'll send me some money, I hope. Let's have a little bit more on the Book of Ira.
I'm a tax collector. I feel really bad about it, but fuck, I just do my, it's okay. It's okay. You're going to see that you don't need the money. Oh, I don't need the money. Really? You see it now? Just grab more money out, people. Oh, Jesus. Hey, Jesus, sorry about taking all the silver for selling you out and everything, man, but I was fucking squirting. I was so scared. It's all right, man. I know you know not what you do, but, please stop now. Like, now, stop. Yeah, dude, I get it. I get it now. Man, this silver is weighing really heavily in my pocket. I feel like a real dickhead. It's okay. You know not what you do. But don't do it again. I won't. Hey, Roman guy, this guy also crushes. Can I have some more money? Wow, Jesus, that was amazing. I can't believe you just blew my mind again. It's all good. I don't think so. You want me to see want me to do another unbelievable thing? Yes. Oh, Jesus, look at you, bat 1,000 every time. Okay, it's all good. No, can't possibly be. Like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thanks for all the fish and look at them on the water. Everyone's crushing. It's all good. No, though. There's no way, though. I know more, though. Dude, how many times do I have to tell you it? Like, I just keep showing you that I am real. I know shit. No, yeah, I know you're crushing. Look, water, wine. You fucking denied the devil. Everyone's doing great. And you blow my mind, Jesus. I had leprosy. I'm now crushing again. Look, my dick is back. Oh, dude, I was so fucking full of demons, bro. You told me to stop sinning, and I'm crushing. I thought that I was blind. I can fucking see everything now. Jesus, you're so great. So you trust me, my son? Yes, obviously. It's all good. No, it can't be. I mean, I was with you, Jesus. Don't be afraid. I'm already scared again. Oh, Jesus, I'm squirting. Oh, dude, I just felt it. I'm not afraid. Wow, holy shit, I can hear God. Is it God's in my heart? Holy, oh, Jesus, I'm scared again. I'm jerking off. Jesus, I want to be a better boy. I want to be a better boy. You don't have to circumcise anybody anymore. We're done with that. We've went through that lesson. We don't need that anymore. But who's going to give me back my foreskin? Just stop now. Just now stop. But I'm still clipped. So I'm going to clip my kid again. Dude, I just said you don't have to clip anymore. But dude, what the fuck is going to give me back my foreskin? I told you, stop with the foreskins. I've already told you guys that. My children. No more foreskin clipping. Oh, Jesus, but I want them to feel suffering like I feel. I know, and I'm relieving you of that. Be not afraid. Fear not. I feel it. Oh, my God. My posture is finally straightening. You guys stop the trauma cycle now, Ira. Last tip, I promise. Okay, when you guys make America, can you not just put a giant dick in the heart of the Capitol? Yeah, no fucking way are we going to do that. Ira, I know you. I know what you're going to do. Oh, fuck. Seriously? You're going to take a hero, and you're going to make a monument, and you're going to say it's for him, but it's for you. Isn't that right, Ira? No fucking way. No way would we do that. We'd make a face, and he'd just be like a normal person. It wouldn't be his penis at all. Ira, I'm the son of God. I know what you're going to do. You're going to get a statue, and you're going to make it a giant dick. I just can't stop looking at it. And because it's so sick and weird, no one's even going to notice for like hundreds of years. They're going to literally be like, oh, that checks out. Because no one can even conceive of how fucked up you people are. What? No. In 1900 years, we'll definitely stop clipping dicks by then. Ira, I know you won't. I know you won't, Ira. Just look at me. Just stop with the tips. Is it okay if I bury two giant amounts of gold under the giant shaft, and then when people wake up to the moon landing, it squirts all over Delaware? Ira, that's insane. I know you know not what you do, but it's seriously getting tedious. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. Decoded propaganda's theory. Kind of out there, or is it? This is back to the scientists again. Like I said, this is going to be all over the place. I've still got like 50 tabs open.
Could this just be a wild coincidence? So just a week ago, I posted this video talking about the 9 different scientists that went missing or unalived in the last couple of years. And in the last week, since I posted this, 2 more have been added to that list. But that's not even what this post is about. That's just a strange coincidence. I simply wanted to reference this video because in it I speculated that the Artemis mission was actually a DART mission. And I have not heard anyone else say the same thing. Now that was a pretty bold claim at the time, but there's been a lot of scrutiny of this mission since then. Between the green screen interviews, the photo shoot that looks like it was probably made by AI, and an awkward moment where this astronaut seems to forget her lines, safe to say that this entire mission has gotten kind of weird.
It got weird, didn't it?
Yeah.
I knew it.
But this next connecting of dots is something I did not expect. November 24th, 2021, NASA launches DART, which is Double Asteroid Redirection Test. This is effectively throwing darts at asteroids with the intention of redirecting them. And this is what NASA loves doing. They love coming up with acronyms that relate to the mission itself. So throwing darts is a perfect metaphor to this actual mission. Interesting then that one of the scientists that worked on the DART missions is one of those that went missing. And the laboratory responsible for developing this technology? Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, which works in collaboration with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is completely tied to all these other scientists. It's not such a leap then that I'm coming to the conclusion that maybe all this stuff is linked. But wait, there's more. During the eclipses of October of 2023 and April of 2024, NASA launched the APEP missions. What does APEP stand for? Atmospheric Perturbations Around Eclipse Path. It's a weird frickin' name. Almost like they came up with the acronym first and then just tried to wedge words in that would work with it. Because as we know, NASA loves their acronyms that have a double meaning. Do you know what the other meaning for APEP is? It's the other name for Apophis. And what's the asteroid that could possibly impact Earth in the near future? Apophis. In 2029, it comes really close, and then if it hits a keyhole, then potentially it could hit Earth in 2036. Now, scientists are saying that it's not going to, but I think they're lying. And they're lying for reasons that I explain in other videos. You can go look those up. If Apophis did impact the world and it had global consequences, then the name suits the asteroid, because Apophis is the god of destruction. In the Bible, they call it wormwood. And this is where it gets crazy. So this is what it says in Revelation. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, blazing like a torch. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many people died from the water because it had been made bitter. Okay, so what? So there's a biblical prophecy that talks about a potential asteroid, and then there are these missions that seem like they're trying to divert asteroids? How am I connecting all this? Do you know what the scientific name for wormwood is? I'm at a loss for words. You cannot make this shit up. Artemisia, absinthium, Artemis. Think about it. Imagine that there's an imminent impact with Earth. Would NASA spend any of their time and resources on doing anything else beyond trying to stop that from happening? Of course not. But if all their missions told the public what was happening, you would have utter chaos. So they have to cover it up. And this Artemis 2 mission is so fake because it had nothing to do with bringing people around the moon. It was a DART mission. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it for now, and stick with me for more.
Interesting. Interesting theory. The other name for wormwood, or the other interesting connection to wormwood, is Chernobyl. Chernobyl translates as wormwood. And so when that thing happened, a lot of people were referencing that passage in the Bible. Oh, dude, they have bunkers everywhere. One of the reasons they have property and bunkers in New Zealand is because New Zealand is one of the rare places that's out of the reach of the strike range of Israel's missiles. And Israel have the whole Samson option, where they'll just nuke the entire world if they're threatened. And they can get there very quickly. So if the things are launched, they can be underground before impact, and the nukes won't reach New Zealand. I've always found it very interesting that these underground cities are popping up everywhere, and they're all like massive nuclear proof military bunkers, essentially. It's like an entire city underground. And I just find it very interesting that Elon Musk set up the Boring Company, which was all about boring into these fucking boring into the mountains and he set that whole Boring Company up and invested billions of dollars just to build roads under LA. That was it. That guy's been heavily involved with the military-industrial complex for years. So he's the one that's been building all these fucking things. I wouldn't be surprised that he was the one helping them build the underground bunkers in Iran, because he's just a businessman, right? He's just a businessman. He's all about the dollaroos. He just wants the dollary dues. So he's like, he sets up this massive fucking company just to build roads under LA, which, as far as I know, still don't exist. So the whole we're building a freeway under LA was just a cover story, because since then all of these fucking underground cities have popped up everywhere. There's videos of them. You can find them. find videos of them, and they're massive. So the one guy who is heavily involved with the military-industrial complex sets up this company that he never does anything with it. And at the same time, all these fucking underground cities just start popping up. Yeah, he's... Like, the whole thing, they're all connected. It's all fucking connected. That's how they do it. They'll tell you a story. Oh yeah, I'm building roads under LA, to make, you know. But they do those things. If you have the not, like, that guy's very clever figuring that shit out, because yeah, if you know what you're looking at, they're going to tell you. Just, they can't really help themselves. You know, they're going to tell you just because... I mean, it's just how those kinds of brains work. That's just how your mind works. You go, okay, we're going to name it this, we're going to name it that. All the information's there. It's so obscure, it's very hard to pick up on. And it takes a particular kind of... yeah, lev trains. That was it. You put your car on a fucking thing and it shoots across LA and it's supposed to sort out traffic. As far as I know, that whole fucking thing doesn't exist. Maybe they have got it up and running. I have no idea. But it just seems odd to me that you would set up a company like that just to build a transport underground. I mean, it would make sense. They have those kind of underground trains in Dubai, I think it is. Like, they have an entire... But they built that, like, it was all planned out. So, you know. Yeah, things are getting a bit doomsday-ish. That's why they want population reduction. Yeah, resources. Yeah, look, it doesn't make sense. Like, they have this plan. I was talking to Harv about this the other night. You know, they have this plan with, like, even with the universal basic income, where everyone gets, you know, 10 grand a year or whatever it is. And there's going to be robots doing everything. And, you know, so... Okay, so do you... For them, like, in purely practical terms, they're thinking in terms of, like, all right, well, so everyone's going to need a robot. So we need to build, what, 8 billion robots? And we need another 8 billion robots, because each of those robots is going to need, you know, you're going to need your secondary robots. You're going to... So where are we going to get the resources for all this? How are we going to build 8 billion robots? How are we going to... And then we've got all the robots that are doing all the manual labor. We've got all the other stuff. So we're looking at like 100 billion robots at the end of the day. Or, if there's less people, we don't have to make as many robots. And in fact, our entire slave army of robots can be run... You know, we can get it down to about 100 million people or 15 million people, or... You know, and these will be 15 million well-selected people. We'll only have the best. Like, we're going to get rid of all the scum. We'll, you know, the useless eaters and feeders. We get rid of all those. We don't need them. They're not contributing. It only makes economic sense in that regard. Like, there is no other way to look at it. If they want this ideal world, they have to kill a lot of people. That's just the reality. And they don't want to go back. It's very frustrating because no one wants to go back. People are kind of like used to things now. But we're creating a future where we're creating young people that they won't be able to survive. They can only survive with their life on rails anyway. But they're not sending, you know, they're not... All the people who make iPhones and iPads and computers, and all the people who work at Disney who make the content for kids, they don't allow their kids to have iPads. They don't allow their kids to watch Disney shows. They don't allow their kids to watch YouTube. They're like, no fucking way. I'm not letting my kids have any part of that, because my kids are going to be part of this new world. Yeah, they are taking the piss, absolutely. But, they tell us what they're doing, and we just kind of go, moo, okay, moo, bah, moo. That's like, really, if you want to be a part of that world that they're building towards, you have to have a lot of money. But if you want to divert, if you want to not have that world, there needs to be a lot of violence and there needs to be a lot of destruction, because they're pushing for that world. They're like, that's happening. It's like we're all being driven towards a cliff. The cliff's right there. We can see it coming. So we have to either change directions. The only way we change directions is we have to unalive the people hurting us in that direction. We have to incentivize them not doing this. We have to incentivize people fixing the world we've got rather than doing what they're planning on doing, which is, it's quite obvious what they're planning on doing at this point. That's why I'm just not invested. That's why I keep getting invited to talk on this CQ radio on Twitter, and I'll get on there at some point when I've got time and talk to them, but they're all these like ex-Christian white nationalists, which is fine, but it's, I don't know, it's so kind of like, what's the book, H.G. Wells, The Time Machine? And he goes, and there's the ones that live above ground and the ones that, like, that's what we're looking at. This is like this kind of savagery that we're looking at if we're able to survive. And where is this going to happen? Because they're building this technocracy. They're not going to allow us to just keep, I mean, they could fuck off, go underground, but they don't see it that way. They're like, no, we need to decontaminate the earth. That's literally how they see it. They see us as a contamination. And so they need to decontaminate the earth so that they've got the resources, so that they can live how they want to live, and we won't be there to screw up their good time.
I don't know why you're doing that. I don't need an interview with the crew telling me how they eat soup out of a pouch. Take the camera to the window and shut up and just let me see it. I don't know, why isn't there something mounted on the outside that just constantly gives me video of the earth? Show me something with movement. Show me weather patterns moving on the earth. Show me rotation of the earth, zoomed out so you can see the entire sphere rotate. You really want to blow my mind? Show me some upside down flying planes. That's what Daddy wants to see. A skyline of a major city. Upside down with planes flying like that. That's all I want. And I'm getting none of that. And I suspect I will get none of that either. And we don't know what's real or what's fake. So I don't know why anyone's excited about anything they're seeing. This is so disappointing. I don't know why you're doing that. I don't need an interview with the crew.
I like that video. He makes a really good point. Like, show us something undeniable. Show us something undeniable. So show us, I mean, I don't know who'd believe it at this point anyway. It's like, I'd look at it and just go, well, that's probably some more fake AI bullshit or whatever. Oh, here she is forgetting her lines.
What impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe.
Forgetting the lines. Forgot the lines.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
So... I may have not learned, I know I haven't learned, everything that this journey has yet to teach me. But there's one new thing I know, and that is, planet Earth, you are a crew. Thank you.
Yay! Fuck off. Fuck off with your fucking NASA bullshit. You're fucking fakers. You're fucking fakers. It's all fucking fake. It's all fucking fake bullshit, it is. This is, I don't know. Fuentes and Kasparian saying the same thing. But it's not the same. It's not word for word. They're trying to sell. The left and right agree on like no one likes Israel. Like that. Oh wow, no one. You mean everyone's against the genocide? And they're freaking out. Like, all right, we'll have a look. It's just the left and right saying things. Fuentes hangs out with Destiny. They're like besties. And they're left and right. Like, none of this stuff, it's all fake.
Our country is under a hostile occupation.
Israeli occupation of the United States government.
Israel controls our government.
Israel controls our government.
Control and influence and manipulate our system.
Ruled and controlled and manipulated by the nation state of Israel.
They are vampires. They suck our blood.
They suck the life out of this country.
We cannot be slaves to Israel.
I'm not a slave to Israel.
Iran does not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran did not have a nuclear arsenal.
The supreme leader of Iran promulgated a fatwa.
He had to put out a fatwa against nuclear weapons.
We had to join Israel's war of choice.
A war of choice. That's what this is.
The real threat to America is from Israel.
Our alliance with Israel as an existential threat to the United States.
Anyway, yeah, you get the point of that. They're saying the same things. Yeah, she was an actress on Mad Max. Luckily, she didn't have any lines on that to fuck up, I guess. She just stood around going, meh. Oh, men are bad. Look at what these men are doing to us. Men are bad, but luckily there's a man coming to save us. He's one of the good ones.
The timing of this fire at one of Australia's only 2 remaining oil refineries.
This guy this guy's really annoying in his the fire. He's trying to be fucking 60 Minutes.
Seems convenient. The Viva refinery in Corio near Geelong processes about 120,000 barrels per day of transport petroleum, or about 10% of Australia's daily consumption. Thankfully, no one was killed and injuries are limited. We don't yet know how bad the damage is, how much of their refining capacity is affected, or how long it will take to fix. The impact may end up being relatively minor, or it may not. As I've explained in the past, when supply drops by 10%, that doesn't mean that prices have to rise by 10%. It means that prices will keep rising until demand drops by 10% so that there are no more shortages. And that might mean that prices have to jump up by 20%, 40% or more. But the big question on everyone's lips is, was this deliberate? Was this an attack on Australia's fuel supplies?
I bought diesel today. I filled up my tank with diesel and I paid $2.70 and I was fucking stoked. That's what I mean. That's what they're doing. See? A few months ago it was $1 cheaper. But the fact that it's now like $2.70, I was like, fuck yeah. Let's fill up.
It's too early to know, but we should take a moment to talk about the Coode Island fire from 1991.
I think like that's all this is. It's just a squeeze. They're just squeezing out the last. It's economic. That's what these wars are for. They raise prices. ASIO needs to change about. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about that guy. He's just fucking. Well, we're going to talk about yeah, just annoying. This is the flight. This is the Geelong flight. I think I might fucking. I don't know. After this, I might close it out and fucking. I've still got enough tabs open to do another fucking stream tomorrow. So I might just do that. Fuck, I'm at 3 hours. Jesus. All right. I'll play a couple more vids and then I might end it. But, and I'll restream this on the other platforms tomorrow, I think. But this is the fucking flight during the fucking, during the Geelong.
So this is a follow-up video to the Viva Energy fires in Geelong overnight, and shout out to Johnsy, who's found some very suspicious activity on Flight Tracker. So basically, these MQ-4C Tritons are unmanned aerial military drones, and there's only 3 of these in the whole of Australia, and they're used for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and targeting, which I'll get to. So you've got to ask yourself, why is 1 of 3 aircraft flying down from Darwin and then doing a flyby past Geelong and hanging around at the time of this very suspicious fire at one of our last 2 fuel refineries? So the other aircraft here on Flight Tracker is the Gulfstream Peregrine, and again, this is used in intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare. So these aircraft themselves don't have these laser direct energy weapons, which I'll get to in just a second, but they are used for marking targets and precise coordinates for other laser-guided munitions. Now, I just want to play a couple of short clips by Greg Reese, who explains how these direct energy weapons work really well.
For decades, directed energy weapons have been classified, but they have been on the public record for several years now. Directed energy weapons, known as DEWs, have the ability to burn homes with this sort of precision. But in order to be this precise, the area would have to be mapped out. In January of this year, green lasers were seen over Hawaii, which could best be described as a geospatial array for mapping terrain. We have seen that among the ashy ruins, there are blue-colored objects that have somehow survived the devastation. Blue cars, blue umbrellas, a blue boat, blue planters. Videos online are going viral that show how lasers can easily burn through certain colored objects, but objects that are colored blue remain unharmed.
So these are the same weapons that a lot of people suspect the Maui fires, the California fires, and even the Aussie fires in 2019 were started, where we see, just suspicious activity like metal that's melted, and then blue objects like those umbrellas that are just untouched, right? So pretty suspicious stuff. And there's one more clip I want to play here that kind of relates to how those other military aircraft can be used for targeting, and then the actual laser weapons can either be fitted to other aircraft or be done from satellites.
Steve Favis is an expert in computer science and advanced robotics. He has been researching the Maui fires and has compiled evidence that the technology exists to have started these fires from a satellite in Earth orbit. He has also confirmed that the CCP had satellites capable of doing so above Maui at the time of the fires.
So the other thing that's really interesting to note here is last week, one of these Triton aircraft went missing over in the Middle East in the war, and it was only yesterday that the US confirmed that this is lost. So What do you guys think about all this? Is that very suspicious, just another coincidence, or have you been down this rabbit hole before and you're aware of these laser energy weapons that can be used to start fires and destroy civilian infrastructure? Let me know your thoughts down below.
So yeah, that could have been a training flight. Could have been many things, but very suspicious that that's travelled down from Darwin. Constantine, how are you, brother? Fuck, it's been a while. We got to get on a call, man. We need to get on a call and catch up. And you've come in just at the end. I've been going about 3 hours, so I'm going to close this down shortly. And maybe do another stream tomorrow, because I've still got a ton of stuff to cover. But so what I want to end with tonight is this is a video of some unreleased audio of my man Norm MacDonald, who is, I don't know, might not even be doing this. If it wasn't for Norm, I might not even be doing this show. There's a whole backstory there, but I've told it before. But so, yeah. Yeah, let's fucking definitely get on a call. All right, Jake, I'll see you online too, buddy. And anyway, we'll go through this. This is one of my favorite things that I've come across on the internet recently. Just because, yeah, anytime something new from Norm, I just love it. This project is a non-commercial fan film and technical demonstration. All characters, clips, music, and properties belong to their respective rights holders. This video was created for artistic experimentation. Is not
in 2016, I made a recording of Norm MacDonald. I didn't really understand it at the time, but when I heard he died just a few years later, I went back and listened to it again.
I'm rolling.
Does anybody have a cigarette? I'm not going to light it. I just want to hold it to calm me down. Thank you. If a guy is really convinced of an afterlife, then life becomes more and more trivial, you know. You don't spend your days denying the catastrophe to come. When I was just starting out in comedy, I met a guy named Sam Kinison. He never made the mistake that a lot of entertainers do, which is to try to figure out what the audience wants to hear.
You suck! Come on! You want to party? Fuck it, let's go!
Please don't. Those guys are always the best. The ones untethered to this world. They're a little bit closer to heaven than all the rest of us. And Sam took me under his wing, kind of.
And now your host, the Weasel.
Hey, boys. Let's get this party started.
Kinison told me there's two ways to write a joke. One, you do it like Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with life cereal? Why don't we call it Odies or Squaries?
You take a little thing like cornflakes and you make it big and treat it with the utmost importance.
Oh no, this is much bigger than that. This is life, I tell you.
But the other way to do it, the better way, is you take a very, very important thing and do the opposite. Either way, it juxtaposes the absurd with the profound, and that dissonance is art.
Norm MacDonald!
When he told me that, it changed my whole comedy. You know, with Hitler, the more I learn about that guy, the more I don't care for him. Kinnison had been a preacher, you know.
The Spirit of God! I've screamed at God at the top of my lungs.
That's where he got that wild shriek. When he died, he'd finally quit drugs. He got hit head on. By a fucking guy that was all stoned. It was very ironic. He got out of the car, he walked around.
Sam, are you all right?
And he said to his friend Carl LeBeau, he goes, I'm fine, I'm fine. Internally, he was bleeding, but he looked fine. And then he says, why now, why now? You know, and now he's talking to God. And then he smiles and he goes, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And he lies down and dies. So maybe you don't think there's Jesus Christ, but you got to know there's God. And people like Kinnison, even when they die, they live forever.
Yeah.
For Sam. Amen.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. You're gonna wanna hold me just like I always told you. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Nobody here will ever find me, but I will always be around. Just like the songs I leave behind me, I'm gonna live forever now.
The big hand, please, for Mr. Norm McDonald.
You fathers and you mothers, be good to one another. Please try to raise your children right.
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be? What's that, Norm? Box Office Poison.
Just lead them safely to the light. When this whole world is blown asunder,
I haven't gotten funnier.
And all the stars
The
fall
show
from the sky.
has gotten really bad.
Remember, someone really loves you.
Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, you're not allowed to put that no
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up! I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna cross that river. I'm gonna catch tomorrow now.
And that's the way it is, folks. Good night and good luck.
If your words live, which yours will, well, mine will and his will, just like the living word of the Bible, you're going to live forever.
It's all about the
Amen.
word. Amen.
God bless everybody.
God bless you, brother. Love you, man.
Yeah, love you too, brother. Shit. I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
Well, that was an awesome note to go out on. This has been fun. Always grouse catching up with you guys. Thanks for joining the stream once again. I'll see you tomorrow, probably. Or maybe. Whatever. This has been another Box of Dogs. Love you guys.